Hello everybody and welcome. D&D Boyband, a group of friends that all like to play D&D Pretty Boys. Apparently it's not fantasy and it's everybody's heart, especially the NPCs. This is an original D&D campaign set in the critical role world of Exandria, taking place about 10 years after the events of CR1. A lot has happened. An awful lot has happened since we started this campaign 2.5 years ago, and to suffice it, the group are now deep beneath the Kryn Dynasty's capital of Arizona, deciding what to do about the recently resurrected Archmage Vespin Chloras, the Archmage who brought about the calamity. They've also not made it to Amon, which was the original destination of the first session's air travel where most of them met. I'm Dungeon Master Jamie, and joining me tonight are the Spice Boys. We are missing 2 members, Sai, who will be back next week, and Eski, who hopefully will be back next week as well. First of all, we have Clued as Barnes.
It's me.
Luke as Ascor, Lauren as Roman.
Hello.
And Erin as Hayden.
Hi.
Before we begin, do we have any announcements?
We do. I'm a little bit unprepared for it, but we're gonna announce it anyway. We do. Cleve, do you want to say it?
Drum roll.
Oh boy, I don't remember the script. Guys, we're doing an art giveaway and we hit our follower goal. So excitingly, we're gonna open our giveaway like now, and we have a graphic for it somewhere, or like it's on the screen.
It's on the screen right now.
Check it out. Okay, so to enter our art giveaway, in which case we will give away art for free, all you have to do is follow at D&D Boyband on Twitch and also Twitter or your socials, and share said post so that, you know, make people see it, and in that we need you to comment with your Twitch username, a description, or maybe a picture of your D&D character, and then we will pick the person that we are selecting to have their character drawn on February the 22nd. So you'll need to watch our stream then, and from y'all stream people we will draw somebody's character, and you will get not 1 but 2 arts, and there are some examples in Yay Graphic. Yeah.
Thank you very much for that, Clued. Yeah, we currently do not have the Instagram and Twitter posts up yet. We forgot to post them, which I just realized. But you guys have got early advanced warning of what's up. So we're gonna get those tweeted and Instagrammed out in the next hour, I suppose. Hopefully, multitasking a bit. And yeah, and then you guys can be the first ones to enter. So hopefully we can draw one of your characters. Yeah. That's the announcement.
That's great. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Thank you. To briefly catch everybody up on last week. Last week you escaped Ghost through a portal, retreating to the ruined remains of Barnes's house deep beneath Rasona. And you guys had a decent amount of... You've explored a little bit of the house, found a fridge that seems to summon whatever food you want, which kept Zug happy, discussed what to do, and finally, in the morning, when you were all prepared, destroyed the Wand of Orcus by reuniting the skull on top with the body of Archmage Vespin Chloras, which seems to have also resurrected him. Preparing yourself for a battle with an evil, diabolical Archmage from the Age of Arcanum, you were instead met with a brat man whose long experience of torture and presence within the wands seems to have broken his mind. You had discussions about what to do with him, explored the house some more, and I believe we left it on you guys discussing what steps to take next. I think you resolved to kind of fully explore Barnes's house, whatever fragments you could find, and return Vespin to somebody else's care, not quite believing it was the right thing to kill him outright, given his current state, and the fact he wasn't fighting back, but also you have bound and gagged him because you noticed that unconsciously, perhaps, he had begun casting spells. So, Spice Boys, back to you.
So where are we currently? Where are we? In the basement?
You're in the
still?
basement, yes. And I'd say there's probably each of the rooms you've been into, you've kind of had a very cursory glance, but you've been in the bathroom, therapy room, kitchen, and you've had like a little look in one of the bedrooms. There's definitely more rooms to this house, and more in those rooms you could explore as well.
Okay. So I guess if we kind of left it off on us deciding we were maybe going to think about making a move, Bonds is probably sat fairly kind of abjectly next to Vespin. He's probably continually glancing quite nervously at him, and is maybe occasionally just staring intently, or looking away, looking back, staring even more intently. He seems confused.
Barnes, I've been thinking, eventually you'll get your answers from Vespin about, how you died and why you died, but don't you also want to know about who you were before you died? Maybe we can find some stuff around the house that helps fill in some of the blanks while you're waiting for your answers.
Huh? Oh, well, that's a kind offer, yeah, I mean, I guess, and he kind of keeps looking at Vespin. It'd probably be healthy to stop, maybe continually wondering all the time why this guy... Yeah, let's... But don't we want to get back to Rosanna quickly? Weren't there some impetus for that, or...
Well, and he kind of looks at Roman, we do still need to finish opening the box. And... Are you up for giving another try right now, Roman, or...?
Well, if you had things to accomplish for a time here, I could do that at the same time. But we should not linger, really.
Yeah.
Right, so this box of yours, that's so you can, stick it to your buddy Essek Thelyss, the evil archmage in Rosanna, correct?
Yeah.
Something like that?
Kind of.
You need to do that here, or would you rather do it before returning to the city, or?
I'm just...
That one.
Yeah, I'm just kind of worried that we're gonna show up and then he'll be there and then he'll be kind of like, hey, give me the box. And we're like, oh, it's kind of like 6/9 open. That's what, that 2/3? I can't do math. So we should probably finish opening it first, and then we can close it again and it will look like it was never opened.
Right.
Exactly, and idiot, he's never managed to open it in the entire time he's possessed it, so I can't see him finding the answers anytime soon.
Right, ancient knowledge and all that.
Yeah.
Sort of got me thinking, and his eyes slide over to Vespin. If it's ancient knowledge, I mean... If you want a bit of extra help, I could probably subdue him for long enough to maybe... I don't know. If this is a sort of artifact he's used to, maybe he can just help, or... something.
It should be said that this box is somewhat volatile in nature, and
Right.
it would be my instinct not to let it near a man who scarcely seems to have half his mind together.
Right, no, sure. Just a suggestion. Alright, well, let's look at your box and maybe do some exploring
Well,
floors up above.
hold on, I have an idea.
Pray tell.
Especially in his state, I'm pretty sure I can control his mind and get him to do things. Under command, of course.
I was thinking so as well. I can calm his emotions, or dominate his mind, or command him around, all that sort of thing. Is that what you're thinking, Asgore? Because I can help you.
Absolutely.
Well, it might be worth a shot. Between the two of you, we can keep him in check, right?
Right, but also, maybe let's try it without the evil machinations of the great archmage Vespin Chloras for now, and if you can't open your box, then perhaps it's an option.
Yeah. Yeah, he should be a last resort, a backup option.
Right. Just a casual backup Vespin Chloras.
Hayden kind of gives a wary look over his shoulder to Vespin and kind of moves across the room away from him towards Roman and Barnes, and Asgorn kind of holds at the box. Well, where did we get to last time we tried with this? I mean, we also don't have to do it right now. We could look around Barnes' house first and come back to this in a little bit. Or
I could stay and fiddle with this while you take a look around with them. If you like, I must confess I have no real interest in pouring through your nostalgic belongings, Barnes.
Right, well, Aiden, if you want to go on a stealthy mission, Roman, if you need any help.
I mean, it's your house, Barnes. Maybe I'll find things, but I won't know if they're of any value to you or importance. It's probably gonna be more important for you to see it yourself, right? Oh. Has Clued frozen? And we are back.
All right.
There we go.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for bearing with us. We appreciate it.
Ford abandoned us in our hour of need.
Yes. As a brief reminder, the group is deep beneath Roshana in Barnes's old house. They are currently about to attempt to open a mysterious puzzle box / bomb from the Age of Arcanum that they've been attempting to unlock for a while now, and Essek Thelyss has been as well, and they think they're about to beat him to the punch. And for the rest of you, I'm sorry, and that was where we left off just before the break, and Discord betrayed us. So I think you guys were about to work out what all your multipliers are and not let Vespin get his hands on it, I think was the other point as well. So, guys, up to you.
Well, here goes nothing.
Okay, so I'm gonna give you a bardic inspiration and do that like ye old Spider-Man staring thing. You get advantage anyway, right? So you don't need other spells. Yeah, cool. Take him. Take bardic.
I will be leaning in, watching closely, just trying to encourage you and hoping to help a bit.
And Jamie, was this Arcana or straight int again? I can't remember what we've
I
been
think we were
rolling.
doing straight in.
Okay.
Ascor has moved across the room to like a door frame and is kind of waiting antsily, kind of hiding basically, but on looking.
Bardic is plus 10.
D10, yeah.
D10, yeah. Oh boy, that's not great. That is 25.
25. Okay, based on what you did last time, I think you were 5. How many were you? 6 out of 9, I think?
Yeah, 6 out of 9.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Oh, I think it was maybe 7 written down here. Okay.
We were
as
7
you-
out of 9.
7 out of 9. As you kind of look down, based on last time in this, you twist, you turn. The box, you realize, almost seems to respond at this level to your emotional state. It always seems to be feeling from you. And when you're frustrated, it kind of goes wrong. And with Barnes being there to calm you, Hayden, and you kind of put from your mind the quivering Archmage in the back and Ascor's occasional unhelpful comments. And you kind of focus in. There's a realization that rather than trying to twist and turn this time, you just need to line things up. And there's like a small flash of light as across a couple of the bows, a couple of lights flare, and you hear like as a single kind of panel opens that kind of reveals what you presume / hope are kind of inner working or mechanism that is kind of hard to see around, might be the final puzzle of this box.
That looks promising.
Yes,
Well.
we are very close now.
Well, good news. We don't have to wait in my basement for too much longer. Can you do it now, or?
How long would this have taken, Jamie?
This would have taken, I'd say, given the time we're doing, about 3 to 4 hours. And it's probably about, you guys, it's pretty dark down here. You guys are estimating based on body clocks and everything, it's about midday.
If it took that long, probably like in between all the fiddling with the puzzles, Barnes is probably quite frequently walking over to Vespin, sitting next to him for a few seconds, looking like he was about to say something, sighing, standing up and walking away again, and just kind of pacing back and forth a little bit.
So yeah, that's where you get to. That's 4 hours of the day gone. What are your guys' plans?
Would you like to have a look around now?
Well, sure, of course. Do we have time for it? We're fine to do it?
I mean, I think you're probably not going to come back here once we leave. So...
Those of you with like kind of high perception will notice like Vespin during this 4 hours is kind of occasionally quivered, is obviously like uncertain or not happy. But once the box starts to play with, his eyes are like, he seems as like a flash of like familiarity or just some level of like calmness, not as in like, lucidity, but just almost like the clicking or playing with this or somebody fiddling with this and him watching has calmed him slightly. He's no longer kind of so rapidly twitching or like unsure or making noises off in the corner.
Him probably doing his thing wakes Askell up. He says, have we, well, did we open it?
Fortunately, it will require a tad more tinkering before we get to look at what's inside, but maybe stretching our legs for now would be a good plan.
I can't stay here any longer. It's sapping my soul, I'd say.
Well, you still want to look at that box some more, but let's stretch our legs a little bit, yeah.
When we return to Rosoda, we don't necessarily need to go straight to Essek. We could perhaps stop off for the night and then turn Vespin in the morning.
We're not worried about him making an escape attempt, although I suppose he would have done it already if he could, so...
Well, certainly it will depend on how the next few hours go, but if he is as he is now, then...
Right, he doesn't really pose anyone any threat at all. He's probably the biggest danger to himself, so there's that. Okay, well, let's look around, let's investigate a tad, and see what we find, and if we have any spare hours or time, maybe look at the box, but otherwise, sure. Maybe we can just go straight back to the city. Hayden, you're good at this whole sneaking around. There are those giant bats hanging around upstairs, so...
Well, I mean, this is your house, so we could just go together, and if we see a bat, then we kill a bat, right?
Right, let's try to be quiet about it. All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Arms, you gotta share with us first what these things can do, if you know anything about these creatures.
I have absolutely no idea what they are. They're giant bats as far as I'm concerned.
Well, very well. We'll find out, I suppose.
Right, let's go.
And I don't really have any pass without a trace helpful kind of spells, so that's a shame, but I might
Enhance ability the dex one on myself, just in case. Sneaky.
Okay. Cool. What I will, if you all want to make kind of stealth checks walking around here, then?
Perhaps does maybe Zug and Lanharath stay in the basement to look after Vespin while the rest of us explore?
Probably a good plan.
And then that way we don't have to worry about Zug's armor.
Another nice little roguey plan is to just send the rogue like measurably ahead of us so they can do the whole looky listening thing without being clocked.
Nah, we'll go as a group.
All right, sick. Let's do it.
We win together and we die together. I mean,
yeah, sick.
Okay.
In that case, Askell and Roman are playing rock paper scissors really loud as we go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty good.
I will say if you want to make just a group stealth roll, and we'll work out if that goes horribly wrong.
22.
22.
Okay. It's been a while since we've done one of these.
Jesus. 8.
30.
I hope that brings up the average a little bit.
I got 14.
Okay. Given kind of time and where you guys all are, it's pretty quiet here. Like you feel like your muffled footsteps are kind of echoing throughout, some louder than others. But I'll say that I'm pretty okay on that stealth roll. And you guys have had a decent look at some parts of this house before, but as you're kind of peering through it, the house is including the basement is 4 kind of levels. You've got the basement, the ground floor, whatever that would be, and the ground floor, kind of middle, second floor, and an attic, which you find while walking around. In each one of these, there is, so you've already been in the bathroom upstairs, therapy room, and the kitchen. What you also find whilst walking around upstairs are a couple of, downstairs is therapy room. You find kitchen, hallways between them. You find a room that's got kind of what once perhaps would have been a set of tables and kind of smashed ceramic plates on the ground. There's seemingly like a larger area that once would have been a living space. Obviously, we'll go through each room and you can investigate them one by one, but kind of as you walk around, this is what you would have find out. And then there's kind of what once would have been an opening out onto the back of the house that may once have had a garden. You don't know. It's obviously now just a mixture of like stone and earth. On the second floor, you find a series of rooms. You find three bedrooms and a bathroom. One of the bedrooms seems to have been completely caved in. One is much larger than the others, and then a smaller bedroom as well as the bathroom. You also find an attic. So these are the rooms you kind of have the option to go and explore and look at. Where would you go? Like as you come out, you probably come out into the hallway, so you could go upstairs or stay downstairs.
You know, it's probably worth, as Saskur was saying, casing it for any artifacts I might have had or whatever. So thorough investigations spot on top, I suppose.
Actually, Barnes, I've never quite considered what was the use of currency in your civilization.
Oh, well, obviously we didn't really lack for anything, so it was never for anything as basic as food, as you guys have implied to date. But, you know, there is some form of exchange for service, so luxuries was generally what one would purchase with currencies. But, you know, nothing basic, nothing needed for quality of life.
Right, and was it gold or platinum even?
Was it? Even gold and platinum was, right?
Yeah, it would be more symbolic stuff because you could just create that out of thin air. It's in the same way that money is symbolic now. You know, like the symbolic value of you almost like it could just be paper. Like
the greatest
dollar
importance one could get in life was to be awarded the honor of a third name through services to society. So that was the main currency, having one of them.
Of a what?
A third name, having 3 of them.
What the hell is that?
Well, you know, Askur, whatever your name is. I don't know. I don't think you've ever told me what your second one is, but you'd have a third in the middle.
No, at what? No, I don't have a third name.
Well, I mean, you would if
and
you'd
frankly,
done something.
That's dishonorable and disrespectful.
If you'd done anything good with your life, you would have had a third one.
You make no sense. Your civilization, you sound like fecal communists.
Where did the feces come from, Askur?
Turds.
Perhaps we can all agree that we are from vastly different cultures and creeds, and we have our own unique ways of communicating
Roman.
detail.
You can't seriously. He's talking about turds.
It's the word with the sound that I can't quite make. The one with the F, but not the F. You know.
Feces?
First, second, third.
I see. A third name.
Right, exactly. Thank you for having a brain.
And this third name is a third name?
Can we look inside the ruins of my house in the destroyed civilization and what I lived in?
That's fine, as long as we don't go anywhere near the bathroom.
Hayden's just losing it, but like not taking part at all.
For what it's worth, Askur, your names probably are all shit anyway. He's
You don't even know what they are.
and just sort of stride past with a little flourish of the cape. I have no intention of finding out, to be honest.
Ascar, don't you have like 4 or 5 different middle names?
What? Me?
Yeah. You've got
Well,
like
yes, of course.
Why do you have so many? I never asked.
It's heritage.
Oh. I don't have a middle name.
Well, if you work hard enough and pull yourself up by your...
You know, Hayden, there is nothing to say that you can't equip yourself with a new name, a third name. If you'd liked.
Really?
Well, who's to say? I mean, I assume your parents or guardians gave you those names?
Yeah, I suppose.
Just give yourself a new name if you want one. No, who's going to stop you?
Right, we picked our own and then registered them, so you know, you can just pick it if there's no registry anymore. Or no symbolism to it.
Alright. I never actually thought about that. Cool. Anyway, Barnes, what's that room that you're about to go into?
Oh, this one. This is my living room, Jamie? Is that those?
No, this is kind of the hallway where
Oh.
like the main door would have been over there and the staircase leads upwards. So at this point, you can go into either the upstairs, downstairs, investigate the attic, basement. I mean, you looked kind of through the basement, found stuff where you
Yeah,
can.
well,
but,
we'll
like,
do bottom to top. So if living room is first or ground floor, then do him.
Okay.
Hallway
cool.
as well. Search all the things.
Okay,
Case
so
of the
let's
night.
say you walk back in. Let's start with go back into the therapy room. This is where, Barnes, you imagine long time listening to your clients. There might be some stuff in here. Could you, people who are investigating this room, if maybe don't, you can order it or nominate somebody to do a investigation check.
Aiden, I had a look around here earlier, but to be honest, I think your eyes are a little keener than I am. So
Yeah, sure. I'm happy to. What kind of... Do you remember much about this room, or is it just kind of like a blank slate when you walk in here?
strange. It's sort of tugged at the edge of my memories. I remember sitting in here in flashes of the people that I saw and the feeling of it. And I remember I had a chair there that was pretty comfortable, and the tissue box was over there because obviously they spent the whole time crying. But you know,
Right. Okay. Can you recall anywhere you might have maybe kept little trinkets? I can maybe start looking there, or should I just do my thing?
had cabinets and things, and I guess the DM can decide if any of this gives advantage in helping. But
Yeah, absolutely. With someone there who knows it, go for it.
Okay, cool. I'll do a roll. I cannot get roll 20 to load. Let's see. Hold on. I will just roll on D&D Beyond instead.
while you're at it, have a bardic, because why not?
Okay, so that's a 30. And
Jeez.
you said plus a bardic? Can I
Yeah,
save
plus
that one
it.
for later?
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
save it. It's
Cool.
I think it lost 10 minutes. Yeah, so you can use it on the next one.
Okay, so looking around this is obviously quite difficult. Any like scrapes or dust or whatever that once would have maybe given you traces or secrets, obviously now after thousands of years, who knows when it was when it was done. So you kind of make your way around, feeling at edges, investigating kind of under any rocks, moving things. And whilst you're around what perhaps once would have been a bookshelf with some of the papers you found earlier and kind of rotting books and wood, you kind of moving it and you actually kind of push in one of the panels on the side, the stone.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it kind of goes and clicks ever so slightly.
Hidden
And, like,
bookcase.
And like then, Hayden, could you make a dexterity saving throw for me?
Oh, my
Ooh,
trapped bookcase!
Shit, boy.
Why not traps in my therapy room?
Oh, 11?
as you kind of are like really happy and you like expect this to swing, there's like a crack and a crunch as whatever ancient mechanism may once have caused this door to swing, the stone just starts falling down on you and you dive out, just avoiding it. Kind of you get your like pinky crushed because you take 1 point of bludgeoning damage as the wall crashes and falls over you, and there is like a stone like kind of like and a like a escape of dust and noise and echo kind of ricochets through the chamber.
Did that land on your toe? You're all right.
Oh, yeah, I'm fine. Don't worry. But I didn't mean to make so much noise.
Why do I have a secret chamber? And he like kind of passes in really quickly as like Kate flying behind him.
Not gonna lie, that's kind of cool. And he's gonna follow
why do I
after
have
you.
this? This is crazy.
DM, can I ask if it's super dark in here, presumably?
Yep, it is.
If it was super dark, I would have made some fairy lights for you.
I was gonna say that Ascor could use his halo to see around him.
Because I think Barnes can't see and Barnes doesn't have dark vision.
No, I don't. Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, I'll make some fairy lights. I can do that as like a free thing.
I'm like, vaguely thinking a party of your level probably have access to the light cantrip. So if you're like investigating this area, but as you're doing it, that's cool. So as it slams forward, it reveals what perhaps once would have been a small storeroom. It's not very deep. It's not like, a whole underground chasm, but arranged on kind of some shelves in the back, there are a lot of kind of wound up things that seem to be small metal wires kind of covered in a black substance that all seem to be put to the side. There is kind of, where is it? There's some coins back here, as well as some stuff that seems to be scattered on the ground, as well as a couple of seemingly magically preserved, because a lot of the paper that when you kind of set your foot in it, it squelches and you look down and it looks like pretty whatever that is, it's long since disintegrated. There are a couple of messages or pieces of paper that seem to be in some way magically preserved. Would you pick them up, or would Barnes pick them up?
Ooh.
Would Barnes or Hayden pick them up is the question.
No, I would have let Barnes go in first. It's his house. So.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm gonna look at these bad boys.
I'm gonna send it. Can I send this to you on Discord or should I send it on Facebook?
Well, it's logged me back into Discord now, so that's fine.
Okay, I'll send it to you on Discord. What this message reads.
And it kind of, as he's reaching for the papers, he's cussing like, why didn't I just put everything on this paper? I don't understand. It's not like it was rare or anything. Just lazy, to be honest. Oh, so disorganized.
While Barnes is kind of reading through those notes, I guess Hayden would kind of turn his attention to the other items in the room. In particular, what are the coil things you said covered in black substance?
You kind of think of it, it's a little sticky, almost like melted tar. And when you just the metal inside is like very thin kind of tubes. You kind of pick one up and it kind of like almost disintegrates a bit in your hand, all the stuff around it, and you're just kind of holding thin metal tubes. Like, what are these for? Upon closer inspection, there are like small arcane runes kind of indented in them.
Does it look like anything I've ever seen before?
Not really. They look like string, like they're that small, like small string, but they've got these arcane runes transcribed in them. It's a thing, and they kind of bend ever so slightly, which you wouldn't really expect from metal. Like they're particularly kind of malleable.
Are they kind of reminiscent of the things we saw under the tree and the junkyard pile?
Yeah, a combination of them being in the junkyard pile, but also you notice that they seem to transfer whatever energy from the crystals happened towards the elevator that you were in last time. So I'd say probably put your heads together. You can these in some way transferred power from one source to another.
Oh, that's useful.
What does it do?
Well, it's sort of just how we power things, or at least how you get the power from, power source to the object. So that fridge we have downstairs, we could probably, what was it? Wire him back up. That's right. Well, anyway, something to tinker with later. It's not really my thing, but maybe somebody can.
Yep, and so that's what you find in there. Obviously, Barnes finds the message. You also find a leather-bound That's once a leather-bound book that's kind of preserved in the same way. Barnes, you read this title of this, and it's called Depression and Deprivation, an investigation of contemporary society, a modern thesis by Barnes Costello.
Oh, shit. I don't remember writing this, but he kind of picks up the book with glee and leafs a few pages in and nods sagely, being like, that's actually really smart. Good job, me. Do you know, guys, I was good at my job. Look at this. And he's going to like shove it in front of maybe like Roman's face and be like, look, see. I had a degree. A few, actually.
What's a degree?
Interesting.
I'm going to keep this. He's going to pull it back and tuck the piece of paper in and slam it shut and sigh and just quietly mutter, oh, it doesn't make any sense, though. Anyway, let's... Hayden, thank you. Let's press on.
Yes. Yeah, no problem. Jamie, did you say there was coins in this room as well?
Yeah, there's about 50 quite thick gold pieces. You don't actually know if they'd be worth 50 gold or more.
Barnes, he's gonna point them out. That kind of looks a bit like the money or currency that we use nowadays.
Oh, do you want it?
Well, it might be worthwhile to you when we get up to the surface.
Oh, I mean, I guess so, but sure, I guess. And he'll kind of scoop it into his pocket and just be like, but you know, if you want it, I don't really mind. I mean, it's just money, right? So.
Oh, I'm fine. I don't need it.
Oh, cool. Well, let me know.
Okay. What room should we go check out next?
You can put 50 oversized gold coins in your inventory.
50 oversized gold coins. Cool. So what else do we have on the floor, Jamie? Like hallways and...
So on this floor, you've got a room. You've got essentially two... so downstairs. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, you've essentially got the kitchen, which you've been in, the dining room, may have once been a dining room, and another room that you can't quite identify.
Okay. Well, let's do some investigates on them.
Okay, cool. If you would like to do an investigation check on the dining room.
Go get him, Hayden.
Cool. All right. After kind of asking Barnes again if there's anything that he remembers about the dining room.
He probably gives you some inane chit chat about how he kept his favorite vase over here, and yeah, something vaguely helpful. And I think it's not been more than 10 minutes, right? So maybe you still have the Bodic?
Yep.
I rolled a 28.
28. Okay, looking around here, you are... Now you're kind of clued in, like Barnes has secret shit in his house. Maybe there's something here. And you're kind of going along with the panels, clicking away. And this room's slightly disappointing in that sense that none of the walls click back.
Ooh.
But in kind of going through all the things, you actually uncover an intact, and somehow after all this time, the liquid in it. You don't know. You're not a wine connoisseur, but you find a wine bottle that seems to still have liquid in it and seem to be full.
Hayden's gonna pull the wine bottle out and be like,
The
hey,
label
look what I
since
found.
the label long since vanished, and alongside that, kind of curling underneath, you see 3 smaller vials of something.
Your magical wine, perhaps?
That sounds like something I would have, yeah.
Do the vials look like wine or do they look like blood?
Yeah,
They
start
look
with
like
the vials.
Oh, potions.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, we take those.
Now you guys can actually use potions because you don't have the wand anymore.
When Hayden sees the potion vials, he actually instinctively jumps back from them and goes, oh shit, and then...
What?
They're not turning... Oh, never mind.
What are these?
I had a bit of a problem with potions for a while, but
Wait,
it's
what?
fine now.
Okay,
Do they upset your stomach or something? I used to have one of these every morning. Sort of like a booster shot for good health.
So looking at the vials, one of them has incredibly dense purple liquid in it with a small kind of pink cloud floating. One other is a yellow fluid streaked with kind of black swirls. Sorry, here we go. And then the final one is it seems like liquid, but it almost looks more foggy as you kind of twist it. Like it almost seems to turn from a gas into a liquid very quickly as you rotate it side to side.
Not wine. Well, Earthmaid, could you help us maybe identify what some of these do later?
Perhaps, though I must confess I'm no alchemist.
Well, maybe somebody in your city can, or the labels are gone, but nice find, Hayden.
Yeah, no problem. Where should we check next?
Well, next room. This is so fun. I'm heisting myself.
Cool. If you want to check the music room.
The music. Oh yeah, I guess I
Oh,
would
sorry.
have
For
had. I
fuck's
guess
sake.
I
I
would
keep giving the
have had
names
one of
away.
those.
No, not helpful DMing. If you'd like to check the unidentified room on your left.
I'd like to check the unidentified room on the left.
Thank you. If you would like to roll an investigation check again.
What does this room look like, G?
It looks like it once would have. Shut up. There's lots of odd black fragments on the ground. There's some weird metal you don't know, and there's a lot of kind of devices or arcane kind of things that are kind of mess of metal and wood that seem to have been destroyed by various rocks or looted, or you see kind of them somebody's attempt to move them and they've been like pulled out of the ground. And this room, more than perhaps the others on the ground, seems to have been looted in some way. But Hayden can make an investigation check.
Has it been 10 minutes since that Bardic was cast?
I'd say yes after the first two.
Now that I need it, I rolled a 23. So
23. Looking around at this room, you kind of again look at secret passages. This room on the bottom floor is by far the most destroyed and looted, as I said, and like other than picking up the occasional kind of shard of this black metal that you think might once have made a circle, and wondering if any of the devices really work given how kind of the mangled state they're in, this room does not kind of pique any of your interest, Hayden.
Yo, are we talking smashed vinyl records here, Jamie?
Yep.
He's a vinyl man. Yeah, I respect that.
I can believe
He's a
that.
Beatles fan.
Hayden will kind of crouch down next to the smashed circular black plastic, and he'll see if it's possible to piece any of it together.
With a 23, yeah, absolutely. You piece one together, and it's kind of tie a veil of the wording actually that's somehow still like graved on this. Was it Suswar and the Banshee?
Oh, nice. I'm gonna cast mending on it.
Nice.
Yeah, absolutely. It kind of like begins to ever so slightly heal. You need to cast it quite a few times, but slowly but surely the cracks reappear. There are fragments missing, and you don't know how good quality this would be if and when you finish the whole thing without finding every single fragment of this very shattered. But
Frisbee or something.
Yeah.
Hayden will hand it over his shoulder to Barnes when he's done casting mending on it and say, well, it's better than nothing.
Oh, it's a
room looks like it's been well and thoroughly ransacked though, so.
Yeah, alright. Well, to be expected 1,000 years on, I suppose.
I'm honestly kind of surprised that this building still even exists. When we heard about Ghor Dranas, I thought it had been leveled and Rosohna had been built on top of its ruins. I didn't think there would actually still be buildings even left to loot.
I'm a little baffled. I mean, I remember standing on a balcony over there, but seeing the sky, and we're definitely quite a long way below ground, so...
Yeah.
We shouldn't really be surprised given the nature of what magic was like back then, that these buildings perhaps had some degree of protective charms on them that has held them up all this time.
Right,
Magics that
true.
still linger.
Very true.
It's really quite fascinating. All this old stuff. Seems like it could be worthy of history.
Maybe I should write another book on it. My black, dark circles from the smashed room. Oh,
Ghor
anyway,
Dranas, a history. That's what you could call it.
I could call it that, yeah. But from what you say about Ghor Dranas, it probably wouldn't sell very well, and it might be considered, what, a bit heretical, the calamity things?
In certain circles,
Maybe more niche. I can work with that, sure.
you could
That's-
definitely appeal to the fanciful nature of those on Tal'Dorei, who I suppose romanticize that period a little more than my people do, living in the midst of it all.
Right. Interesting. Thanks for the suggestion.
Barnes, I suppose I should ask. Well, does this mean we need to keep your identity hidden?
Oh, what in general? I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I guess I hadn't really considered what I'd say to anybody from this time apart from you. I mean, you guys and Vesp and Chloras are sort of the only people I know. And I guess Ghost and your I know your sparkly friend, but
we don't choose to associate with a ghost anymore. You don't have to pretend you know him, don't worry.
right.
Don't tell anyone you know him. That's what I'm saying.
You can choose your friends, not your family, unfortunately.
Wise words.
You might also want to be careful about who you tell that you know us as well, but we'll try to point them out to you before you get into any trouble.
Yes, your calamitous histories of disaster.
A little bit, yeah.
I don't know. I'll mull on that one, Asgore. I think maybe I'll selectively mention that I'm, a walking corpse from the Age of Arcanum who, well, was killed by Vesp and Chloras. That might be something that I probably shouldn't be throwing out from rooftops, but...
I wouldn't bet on anyone, really, knowing even the name Vesp and Chloras or what he did, so probably nothing to worry about, really.
We had to dig pretty deep in the history books to find mention of his name. Didn't we find it in the restricted section in that library?
Exactly. If it's not a name that I had learned or been taught in my lifetimes, then we can all but assume that it is one that has been possibly deliberately lost from history.
Right. Guys, I've been sort of thinking about this on that subject while he's not in the room with us, but it doesn't add up, I have notes, therapy notes for that man, and I know people well, and I knew him well, and nothing of what I've written down even remotely points towards the idea that he had any malice in him, he was sad, malcontent, unhappy perhaps, but the notion that would be somebody that would open a divine gate and let betrayer gods into the world, it doesn't stick at all. And it confuses me because he killed me, but why would you just murder your therapist?
This may be less hard for you to believe now that you've actually met him, but I could say I've experienced almost the same chain of events, albeit with my brother. Didn't seem the sort to walk that path, and yet there I was, being kicked into a gate into the Far Realms.
Oh, vicious betrayal.
Also...
Anyway, I just keep coming back to it. I'll mull on it. It's a later question.
I'm not exactly jumping to Vespin's defense here, but when you kind of phrase it the way you do, I mean, we kind of just opened the Divine Gate, and we're not exactly bad people. I mean, we don't mean to be bad people, so I'm not saying I think he's innocent. Maybe, but, like, we kind of did the same thing, so...
I would not at all even slightly agree with you, Hayden.
Well, what did we do back at the Arbor Exemplar? We've removed the body, and now you said it's all crumbling and it's gonna get destroyed. Are we causing another calamity?
Are we the new Vesp and Chloras?
Oh god.
Did we just become what I thought to just kick?
Oh no.
Out of character for a second. I'm right to understand the Divine Gate was put up after the calamity.
The Divine Gate was so you would absolutely know this, like, in character. Yeah, the Divine Gate was basically the calamity was the betrayer gods, like, entering the world.
Yeah.
And also the good gods, and there was like a massive fight between them. And in order to keep the gods' power themselves and the betrayers separate, the Divine Gate was created to limit the influence they have. So yes, after the calamity, to stop the gods fighting each other.
So, Hayden, your grasp of history is a little confused here, and if anything, what we have done is weakened that barrier, which, by the way, I should say is not altogether a terrible thing. While it does allow Betrayer God's influence on this plane, it also allows for the other gods to have their influence in lieu of that, in a balance in all things.
Right, so they can go to war just a bit more strongly. Influence more directly.
Influence more directly, yes.
Great, sounds awesome.
Yeah, I didn't really learn about any of that in history, so thanks for clearing that up. Anyway.
Go.
Like,
have a bath or something.
What room's next?
Yeah, upstairs.
So upstairs, as you go in there, as I said before, there are kind of 3 rooms that are accessible, as well as obviously the attic above that as well, or the top layer. You've got a kind of a larger room that would have once been a bedroom, a smaller bedroom, and the bathroom that you guys have found the bathtub in previously. But you, which one would you like to investigate first?
I'm going straight for my bedroom, man, or the big one.
Okay, assuming that this is Barnes's room, walking inside is a much larger room. It has a large, what would once been a window. You can see the shattered glass on the ground. Maybe there was once a bed in here. There seems to be the grooves or kind of indents in the floor that would indicate that, but much of the carpet's rotted away. The bed, had it once existed, seems to have been stolen. There are a few books in here, but we'll talk about those when you roll your investigation check.
Oh, well, Hayden, this is my bedroom. If I didn't know it well, then, you know. And I'm gonna, I don't know if this, actually, hold on. Can I, well, certainly maybe the same advantage thing, but I don't know if I can use knowledge from a past life and give that to somebody else. No, it's when I do it. But have a bardic anyway.
All right.
Begin pointing things out and telling you about how his bed was always heated or exactly the right temperature, and he had lots and lots of thread count in that silk right there.
What's thread count?
Oh, it was really soft, really nice. Do you know when you just go into your bed and it's just crisp and wonderful and
Ascor runs his hands along some of the furnishings and goes, well, it also depends on what the threads are made of.
I mean, I imagine they're silk. What else would they be? You're not implying cotton, are you? I'm not a cotton sort of guy.
Well, these look like dust now.
Yeah, it's all dust.
Hayden looks between Ascor and Barnes, and he just seems baffled as they're talking about thread counts, having been lucky if he'd even gotten a blanket.
And it would like generate a pillow mint for me every morning to make sure my breath was always nice.
Pillow mint?
Right, you know when you have a mint on your... Never mind.
No.
I don't think you have those now, do you?
But
we have pillows, yes.
What was that? Sorry?
Bardic is 1d10, you said?
1d10, yeah.
We do have pillows, yes. Those are still around.
Right, but mints, you have mints.
Mints? Yes, of course. Depends what kind, though.
Whether they're
Goat
coins or gold.
No,
or...
mint.
Goat
I can't say it. Mint with a T.
Cow.
Minty,
Mints.
you know, minty fresh.
Oh, like the plant.
Right, like
You had a mint plant.
No, but they were like sweetened and condensed in these little white tablets sort of things, but they're really sweet and they made your breath smell nice, like the plant.
Mm.
Does anyone know if there's a way to see your roll history on D20? On D&D Beyond? Because I rolled it and then I just instantly forgot what I rolled.
Oh, if someone else is logged in, I'm not actually rolled it.
I can see. You rolled a 10 plus 13, 23.
That was my roll afterwards. I did a roll before that because I've got advantage.
Investigation 29.
Okay, so I rolled 29 plus 9, so 38.
38, Jesus. Okay.
We're finding your stuff, Barnes.
Try hiding anything in here, Jamie.
Right.
Yo, DM, can we add that? Have that spill over into the other rooms?
That like this room has been pretty thoroughly plucked clean, but nobody with quite the attention to detail that Hayden has. You go through every drawer. Barnes, you feel a little violated with the level of detail
He told
that
me to
Hayden
do
is
it.
picking through your stuff. You find large pieces of jewelry, like metal that has obviously survived into, like, you kind of toss the dust off, and there are rings with like large rubies set in them. You find book after book with titles like Asmodeus, The Bridge Between Good and Evil, A Treatise on the Hells, Damned Souls Anew, a self-help book, Life Begins After Death, an Archmage's Guide to Prolonging Existence. And like each one of these books you kind of look at and kind of throw over your shoulder. There's a solid theme of, you get the sense that whoever lived here, or the person that Barnes was pretty like life and death as concepts beyond like mere day-to-day existence was fairly focused in his mind. A lot of these books, there's some self-help books, but a lot of them are, you know, how to live longer, stuff like that.
I have a quick question.
Yes.
What language are these books written in?
I'm going to say common.
It
for the
is
sake
common?
Of, like, we've been doing common so far, so yes. I'm going to say Age of Arcanum was common. Common. There are probably a couple of books in languages
Is it like
you don't know.
Shakespearean common?
Yes.
In Irish.
Taoist.
Taoist.
You find a book that seems to be labeled as like religious. It's just this kind of religious question mark on the front, like someone's always written it. And as you kind of scroll through, there are prayers in this book to all manner of gods, all of them, be they betrayer gods, you find one to Lolth, you find one to the Chained Oblivion, be they progenitor gods, you find one to the Dawnfather, the Changebringer, you don't find one to Geb. And this book seems to have somehow survived. The pages are quite crisp, it's readable, and you kind of grab it and you maybe flick it open, and anytime you kind of land on a page to betray god, there are like like hairs on the back of your neck stick up ever so slightly. It's slightly unnerving looking at the end of those pages, and you kind of quickly shift past them. With over a 22, sorry, there is under where the bed perhaps would have sent, you kind of investigate this floor specifically, and one of the kind of tiles, you kind of push a little bit of stone on, and you see like there's a little tiny, very rusted metal hinge, which you kind of take your dagger out and use it to kind of flick it open. And inside there are a bunch of papers kind of bundled together, kind of written the same things downstairs, and there's like a little note on the top that reads "Research with Vespin."
I think I might have hit the jackpot.
Oh, what?
You
What does it say?
You seem to have a lot of really cool little hidey holes around your house.
I do.
That's
I guess.
kind of neat, actually.
Yeah.
Do you want to read this? And he's gonna gesture to the research on Vespin.
Yeah, sure. What's it?
Why would this one in particular be hidden separately from the rest of your therapy stuff?
Right. And that's a weird way to phrase it, isn't it? Research with my patient?
Yeah.
Surely I'd be researching for my patient, not with him.
Was he more than a patient to you?
Well,
I mean, no, not that I don't know. When I was looking at him downstairs, it was anger, but I don't know.
what did the document say?
The document. Oh, earlier.
No, this one here. The
Oh.
bundled up papers.
Oh, right. Yeah, no.
So quickly thumbing through it, it kind of starts off with a thesis about something called the ritual of seeding. And increasingly throughout, it investigates or talks about ways that this could be replicated or done again, and kind of references to historical examples of this being done and attempted. Much of these end in kind of the practitioner and all those helping dying. There are various kind of avenues of research that, you know, there's kind of notes written afterwards with kind of the word safeguard written there and question mark. One says would require immense soul sacrifice not to be pursued. This document seems to list an attempt to recreate or do the ritual of seeding, whatever that is.
As my brother would say, sounds kind of sus.
Does sound kind of suspicious. Is that the lingo?
I assume so, yes.
Yeah, it's new common slang.
However, the end, pretty much the last one, there's a level of frustration in your writing, and it seems that according to whatever these documents are, you weren't successful. You didn't find a way to do this that you and Vespin, if that was who you were doing this with or researching with, found suitably safe.
But there's a running theme of ethics in here, correct? we've said no to ritual sacrifice, right?
Yes.
Great. That's good.
There are multiple examples too.
Phew.
This could only be achieved via soul sacrifice, not to be pursued. Could substitutes be found? The word safeguards ? Is repeated quite a lot throughout this document as well.
This was under my bed.
Yeah.
He probably just looks up with like, I don't know, almost puppy dog eyes and just sort of whispers to the party, I'm so fucking confused.
When Barnes reads through the document, does he share any of the information inside it with us?
Probably at first, his fingers sort of like tense up and the pages crumple slightly. And like you can see there's this palpable stress as he's leaping through. And slowly he kind of like breathes, takes stock. And as he kind of looks up to you, he says, well, guys, oh my God, Bucky has pizza on his head.
Bucky got the pizza.
Oh my God, Bucky!
Oh my God, his little collar is so funny looking.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
what a little boy. So
His
cute.
donut.
Donut
So
boy.
cute. We love him.
We love you,
I love
Bucky. Oh, there's his donut. No, I mean his pizza.
You can't put pizza on a donut, Bucky. That's
He's
gross.
waving. I'm sure Bucky would eat it anyway, though.
He would. I'm sorry. He's been constantly barking for the last 5 minutes that I've had my mic muted.
Oh no.
Meanwhile, Loki looks dead behind me.
Do you want to swap, Jamie?
We could do a weekend. We could swap for a weekend.
That sounds good.
Yeah, he probably confused and maybe a little shaky. Well, guys, the research with Vespin underneath my bed was to do with some sort of ritual, but the good news is that we followed an excellent code of ethics, and we certainly weren't researching his depression problems, we'll say that much. I don't actually know what we're trying to do, to be honest.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Am I to gather that...
Looks pretty bad, doesn't it?
It also seems like you had something of a closer relationship with this man than you may have previously thought, given where you have found pieces of your research.
I don't know what you're implying. Really, couldn't possibly say what you're implying. No.
Would you like me to spell it out loud?
No.
Were you in an intimate relationship with this man?
Absolutely not. Have you seen him? Have you seen his pasty ass downstairs? Could you imagine me with the likes of that lich thing? Absolutely not. No way.
Well,
No.
is this what he looked like before? Do you remember him when he was alive?
Do I, Jamie?
No. You remember green eyes flashing and a long bony finger pointing at you from your murder, but you don't remember the figure doing it.
No, as far as I'm concerned, he was always a creep. The last thing I recall was, getting killed by him. So
So
I
no,
find
then.
the notion mildly disgusting. But no, I don't remember it at all.
Okay. Slightly
The
different.
ritual of seeding. But my common is not my first language, so forgive me if I'm making any undue misunderstandings of this situation, of course.
I don't know. I don't remember being a gardener, but maybe Vaspin was. So maybe it's a plant thing.
A plant thing, yes, perhaps.
Wait. Ritual of... Were you guys trying to create a baby?
I can't. No. I really hope that we weren't. I sort of hope that this is just gardening. I don't know, Archmage. What's a ritual of seeding? What does that mean?
I'm guessing that's not something I've ever heard of.
Roman, could you attempt to make an Arcana check for
Oh
me?
my goodness. I guess I can attempt to. 26.
26. It's odd. Roman's mind begins to map the information that he knows about various rituals, and all things kind of you begin to kind of assume this must be Age of Arcanum. Kind of you take your eyes back, and it's almost as if it's just beyond the edges of your mind, and every time you go to touch that, something pushes you back. Physically within your mind, you feel yourself being pushed back, as if there's some, not entity, but force literally withholding that knowledge that you know within you. Strange. You've never had this with a piece of information before. Like, it's almost as if it's like where it should be, there are just black edges around your mind, and trying to probe on that is just impossible.
You know, I want to say yes, there is something immediately familiar about it. However, I cannot recall why I would know that or what it even could mean. We have back in Resona leaders, people who are very wise, and they, how do I explain this to you? They are in possession of knowledge from generations past, but intimate knowledge, as if they themselves had lived through it. It is something that we could investigate if you should like to know about it further.
I'm nervous as all hell is. Here we have some papers that are implying that I was doing some research with my best buddy pal, Vespin Chloras, the guy who, sort of caused some sort of calamity. And I mean, seeding notwithstanding, that doesn't look good, does it?
Doesn't look the best,
but,
no.
I mean, I wouldn't have any interest in calamities or anything like that, so I didn't do it. I swear, Your Honor. I wouldn't have.
Barnes, I don't know, the documents that you found for your therapy notes and also for these ones here, are there dates on them? Can you put together a timeline? Like, was this research before he became your patient, or
that's
after
a good
he was
question.
your patient?
Yes, that is.
Dates line up as afterwards.
And it's after. So clearly, I saw him as my patient, and then we engaged in unethical research together about this.
I obviously can't give you any answers or advice immediately. However, one thing I will say, as somebody who attempted to stop something akin to this before themselves and landed in a whole boatload of trouble, often it is best to consult with others to get it sort of how is it a vibe check.
Vibe check. Right. And I mean, he did murder me, so in all likelihood, maybe, I was like, no, Vespin, don't do anything unethical. And then he's like, no, Burns, I'm going to do something stupid. And then I was like, Vespin, don't do it. And then he killed me because I got in the way. That seems likely, right? That's not a big leap of logic. Right? Because I wouldn't have knowingly aided and abetted and, bad shit.
Well, I am not sure that anybody who would necessarily be able to investigate this to its fullest extent would be alive to prosecute you on it anyway. So perhaps the legal ramifications are unimportant. The moral ramifications.
Those that I'm worried about. Yeah, it's the personal ethics of the whole thing. And
well, you can only really judge yourself when you have the full information. You should not try and presume anything until you are in possession of all of your memories.
Right, well, I'm going to take those dodgy books that Hayden stacked in the corner nicely for me, which He has Asmodeus and Life and Death and Treatise of the Hell. Yeah.
They look like light reads.
Real
Nice.
crazy evil archmage kind of books. Huh?
Pulp fiction to read before you go to bed. Anyway, should we move to the next room?
Yeah.
You're not quite finished in this room.
Oh no!
Oh no.
Oh,
There's
gosh.
more.
Rolling 25 plus. There is
No, Jamie.
a drawer underneath some of the jewelry, which contains just much nicer pieces of jewelry. Clearly, this was some safe or some cabinet that has been welded into the wall. These are kind of various kind of beautiful ringlets, earrings, a couple of kind of necklaces and charms that go all the way down. Barnes, you don't really recognize the symbols of any of them. These maybe perhaps once would have been some iconography to a society you belong to or some group membership or symbols. But all that Hayden knows is that they clink, they look valuable, and I suppose they're Barnes's.
Kind of holds them up. Look familiar?
Sort of.
Hands it over to you.
I had these better than the evil research about seeding with Vespin Chloras.
Let's stop using the phrase seeding until we understand what it means. Yes? Cool.
Agreed.
Great.
So, two other rooms. I would say for the sake of brevity, the bathroom has been thoroughly explored. You do have the magical tub in there, but the spare bedroom, which is what it is. Could you guys make an investigation check?
Have another body.
Okay. First roll is a 23. Second roll is a nat 20.
Nat 20. In here,
For a total of 33.
covered under various pieces of stone and dust, put it out. There is what would once perhaps have been the outline of a chest. You see kind of, the metal is still intact as the wood has rotted around them. And inside are papers upon papers of magical parchments with arcane runes written on them. These are a bunch of spell scrolls.
Oh, okay. Do we recognize the spells upon these pages?
Could, I suppose, anyone proficient in Arcana make an Arcana check for me?
Hayden kind of looks over his shoulder at Barnes. Not Barnes, sorry. Roman. Here you go. Hands him over. You're on mute, by the way.
Sorry, this fucking dog. Won't stop barking.
Ascot also leans over to you and he sort of takes out of his top pocket his eyes of minute seeing and goes, "I'll look after them," and hands you those, which give you advantage on investigation checks. Investigation, is it? Or is it intelligence? Let me see.
I think it's history checks, the eyes.
No, this is something else. Okay, it's just an investigation. Forget it.
Yeah.
Didn't happen.
Arcana, did you say?
Yeah.
Ah, man. 19.
19. Okay, I would say there are 5 scrolls, one of which you don't recognize. The other 4 contains spells you do. Crown of Stars.
Mm-hmm.
Mordekainen's Magnificent Mansion.
Mm-hmm.
Regenerate.
Mm-hmm.
The final one, Tether Essence. And the fifth one you don't recognize.
I rolled an 18. I don't know if that's helpful. I don't know what you rolled. It's
Not
probably
more than
higher
a
that.
19. So yeah, no.
Oh, okay.
Interesting. Could be useful later.
Cool spells.
I mean, in my opinion, all spells are cool spells, but
Nerd.
Oh my god, that's the cutest thing.
I could go over them with you if we have more time. Best possibly in the library where we have space to work. But
Yeah, in a place of safety, maybe. All right. Cool. Cool. Great. Good. Wonderful.
Final room in the house, upstairs
The
in the attic.
attic.
As you all kind of make your way up, you're realizing there is an upper level, but with whatever once would have taken their rotted away, you're kind of crawling up here. Could you all, as you enter this space, make a wisdom saving throw for me?
Uh-oh.
Oh, we should have bought actually with us.
No, he's babysitting. Oh, I did a good roll for once.
I did a 90-20 for a 23.
20. All right, cool.
I did it.
DM, is this anything to do with the charmed or frightened condition?
Yes.
Oh, is it charmed?
It's
I've got
frightened.
advantage against being charmed.
But you didn't have for 20 anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
Is it within 10 minutes of the last bardic inspiration that I didn't use?
Yes.
Ooh. Then
I'm 16.
26.
6. All right. 16, 26. Ascot, what'd you get?
18.
18. Okay. All of you, it's slightly unnerving up here. You're kind of a bit more exposed to the area around you, and you can see the like large shadowy creatures off in the distance flying, and there's just something about this space that is unsettling. The air is almost slightly electric. However, all of you breathe, make peace with it. Looking around, one of the things that's unnerved you is throughout the rest of this, you've kind of, you've not been alone. There's been the scurry of rats, there's been the odd squeaking, but up here, there is almost silence, except for those of you with high enough. Who's got the highest passive perception, or what is that? It's like 16 on Barnes, right?
Yeah.
I've got passive perception of 17.
17, okay. Hayden and Barnes.
I got 16 as well.
Okay, Hayden, Barnes, and Roman. You look around and you realize that there are no rats or mice or anything that scurries here. Or anything that's small. But there are a lot more spiders than you would have found anywhere else in this flat. And when you all get up here, Roman, you feel as though they're kind of scurrying across your skin for a second. Ascor, in your head, faintly off in the distance, you hear 5 separate distinct roars sound. Barnes, far off in the distance, the sound of clinking glasses and low-level laughter. Hayden, for yours, just the sound far off in the distance of low rumbling in the ground, and you kind of look down at your feet to see if they're moving, and they aren't. And each of those sounds is just a single second as the unnervingness reaches its pitch and then kind of falls downwards.
Yo, did you guys hear that?
Oh, what the hell was that?
Someone's having a party.
A party?
Right.
Sounded like an earthquake to me.
I heard the screams.
Screams.
Not
A group
great
of them.
screams.
I did not hear any of that. Detect magic?
Yeah.
Yeah, there is what is it enchantment? Sorry. There is a large enchantment, large source of enchantment magic about 10 feet away from you all, kind of seems to be like almost buried in the stone ever so slightly. Like, if you look at it, just a solid piece of stone.
There is something in that stone over there that is causing whatever this is.
Right, generating some sounds at random. Surely.
And possibly something else. Do you remember? I suppose this is a stupid question at this point. Of course, you probably don't remember, but having any sort of wards or protections?
Jamie, can I ever think about stuff that might have been around? Or
All right, yeah.
Gonna use my knowledge from a past life to add a d6. What kind of roll am I making here?
History.
History. I've rolled a natural 1, Jamie.
No.
Oh no.
Does it look like this rock could have come through the roof, when things collapsed? So
Yeah, there's something either under or in or below the rock. You probably need to shift it to find out what.
All right.
Should we go get
Does it
Seb
look-
to lift it?
Does it look like a mage hand could lift it?
only 5 pounds on a mage hand.
Does it look like it would be over 1,000 pounds in weight? Which is probably the weight of a small car or like...
No.
Okay. Well, I can move this. Easy, actually.
Hayden looks over his shoulder, asks, are you?
Yes,
What
I've never seen
muscles?
you lift anything, actually.
You choose...
Well, that's not strictly true. You just don't always notice it's me. But that's not the problem we need to focus on here. What is this thing? Why do we need to move this? I don't understand.
There's a thing in the... Well,
Yeah, this is the source of whatever the uncomfortable feelings you've had since we got up here. Something's trapped underneath this rock.
Well, that's a perfectly good case in that case to simply leave it where it is.
we want to break it. Or, I don't know, dig it out and sell it because it might be useful. And Age of Arcana magic, Ascor.
Well, I do have a bad feeling about this, but let's try it your way. I just appreciate it if we... Firstly, DM, do we have everyone with us at this point?
You don't have Aku or...
Okay. I'd appreciate it if we perhaps prepared ourselves for what may come. And Ascor sort of stands back and... Well?
Wait,
Oh, sure. Yeah. Bonds is gonna get his dulcimer around, just give the strings a little whack and just nod and be like, go get him.
Hayden's gonna finish pulling himself up into the attic, and he'll find a little dark corner to hide in, and he'll pull his crossbow out just in case something jumps out from the rock once it gets lifted.
As you hear the note of music, it kind of almost shimmers and coalesces into that little shield that occasionally encompasses your body as you'll get 11 temp HP from the note ringing.
Does that overwrite temp HP from previously?
So
If it's higher, I think.
Higher, yeah.
Okay, but
That's
if it's
fine,
lower,
yeah.
then it doesn't do anything.
yeah.
Okay, good.
I'll take it. All right. Yes, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, Roman's gonna like bring up the beginning of what you guys would probably recognize as a chronal shift, so just ready to like rewind time on this, like whatever Ascor's about to do, just in case it really fucks up.
One quick reminder, by the way, Roman gave us all Fortune's Favor this morning, and I don't think anyone has used it yet.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I still have it.
Yeah.
How long does that last? A day?
An hour, I think, or a day.
It's a day, right?
1 hour.
We lost it in that case.
Yeah, we
What
spent
do you
a
reckon?
couple of hours looking at the box earlier, didn't we?
Oh yeah.
Oh well, that's
What?
fine.
Cool. In that case, Ascor's going to sort of step back, and he doesn't move his hands or anything, and he just sort of looks at the rock, and you see his hair, and it's sort of, been on the road a bit, so it's not its usual kind of coiffed self, but it seems to get heavy, and in fact, his clothes do as well. They seem sort of dragged down to the ground as if he's sort of embodying gravity that he's trying to fight. And of course, beads of sweat sort of begin to come down his neck as well. And I'm going to cast telekinesis as a psionic spell. And lift the rock just upwards.
As Ascor's focuses, you say, like gravity a bit reversing around him, tendrils kind of reaching out, the rock kind of creaks, and there's kind of like falling of dust and stuff. And as it lifts up, there's a tink, tick, 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 as like something falls down, rolls on the floor, and kind of rolls ever so slightly towards you. And looking down, you can all see a large, about 5 foot long staff with a large piece of like wood in the center holding it together, with a gold ornament on either side in kind of the state of a cup, red rubies and emeralds kind of jutted into the side, the top much larger, and kind of a central diamond in the top that almost, as you're kind of looking at it, almost seems to draw you in ever so slightly. Roman, it is certainly the source of the magical aura you were feeling earlier.
Oh.
Do I get LOL vibes from this?
No.
Okay, just the way you said about the spiders and stuff.
Do I recognize this bad boy?
Definitely back of your mind, you remember holding this stuff.
Oh shit! I think this is my stick.
Well, it is certainly enchanted. I advise caution if
wait,
you're
hold
not
on.
sure.
Hold on, shut up. What do I do with this? And Askel's like now just like shaking. And he's got this rock and it's just sort of rotating him so slightly in the air.
Gently set it down again?
Right.
In the same place, or
No, like to the side, in open patch there on the ground. Kind of
and you
point to
see
an
it
open
moves,
space.
and
Nice.
it's not graceful yet. He's sort of getting the hang of it, and it comes to the floor, and the bottom like scrapes very gently, and it rolls and just like that.
Have you done that before?
Yes, but not with something like that.
Now, you might want to practice that.
It was very impressive, Askel. A great display of skill and mental mastery. Sorry.
Thank you.
But what's this?
But does it feel like it's like a permanent aura? Like this is a kind of thing that makes aura. It seems like it has another purpose, or
It is a magical object, basically.
Right. Huh. Well, I remember owning this thing.
Any idea why it would be kept in the attic, though?
No, none whatsoever. It's pretty fancy.
Don't people usually use their attics for...
Muted, Lauren.
If you can wait for around 10 minutes, I could identify this for you and tell you exactly what it is and what it does.
Yeah, I think that might be a good idea, I suppose. Sure. Well, I suppose the question is it going to make people hear spiders and whatever? Earthquakes and parties if we bring it anywhere, or is it?
We'll know in 10 minutes.
Right, cool. Well, I guess we'll case out the rest of the room in the meanwhile.
Yeah, I'm sure there's other stuff up here besides that.
Right.
Looking around, whilst investigates that, there are what this perhaps once would have been you see there are kind of various metal pipes that have been like bent or twisted or broken out of shape by obviously the thousands of years since, but they seem to have all kind of be connecting to this central large metal tank that you kind of pull the lid off and it's rusted after time. There is a kind of magical contraption in the center which is still slightly warm to the touch. Oh, I messed up as well. Sorry, for 25 plus in Barnes's bedroom as well. You guys would have found a stone that was, I would say it's in here, a stone that is like incredibly warm to the touch. That seems to almost like be the longer you hold it, it transfers that warmth into you. And before any of you kind of stop that, it kind of it just seems to do that in Faraday. You kind of push it off. So I'll say that you find that here as well. So you found like essentially the central heating of Barnes's house, and within that you seem to find this stone that seems to almost attempting to transfer its heat into you.
Oh.
Like a hot water bottle, but a stone. That's really cute. Just home comforts.
Yeah. Put that in someone's pocket and be warm forever.
Aiden will take the kind of metal device out of the boiler. So I was gonna throw it in his hand and catch it and be like, do you know what this is?
A warm rock?
Well, I don't know.
Cool.
Everything else in this room's cold, so...
I think maybe later there's going to be an exercise in figuring out what of this is new to the world, and I don't know, Askor, maybe we can think of something creative for it, but yeah, for now, it's nice to have it back, I guess.
To be fair, other than the parchment, pretty much everything we found has been kind of unusual, but...
Right.
At least to me.
Yeah, I mean, kind of to me as well. Sort of.
Yeah.
Strange. Familiar, but not.
So after 10 minutes, this is the Staff of Domination, which allows you to cast the following spells: Dominate Monster and Demand.
Demand.
Command or demand?
Demand, which is a combination of the message spell and the suggestion spell.
Oh.
Before Roman hands out that information, so what is it you said specifically that you did in your profession?
Oh, I was a therapist.
And
I helped people
exactly
with
what?
their. Well, if somebody's sad, I unsad them. I sort of help them through any psychiatric disorders they might have. So
Would you say that you would demand they become unsad?
no, not at all. It was a process.
Dominate them into feeling happy?
Gosh, no, it was a give and take. It was a sort of like I said, a process that would take a long
Okay.
time.
Then I'm curious to know what you would be doing with a magical object such as this.
Well,
Do you have any recollection of what it is at all?
no, I mean, maybe I traded it in for some stuff, or I don't know. Magical objects weren't exactly rare back then, right?
Well,
Are you
so you say, however, something like this would certainly even turn a few heads back then, I assume.
It's pretty shiny. I mean, no, I swore a Hippocratic oath. I had a music degree as well, if you're curious, but...
Well, what this is some sort of staff of domination.
Wow.
And
Cool.
it allows you to essentially control, dominate, manipulate people to your whims. Perhaps you could see why I wanted to ask you those questions.
Well, that doesn't really sound in line with my Hippocratic oath.
No, not entirely.
Did you maybe
But
confiscate it off of someone?
Well, potentially, but I would have thought anything that was dangerous would have handed over to somebody more equipped to deal with it. I wasn't an archmage, guys. I sort of just spoke to people, gave motivational speeches and talks, and wrote books. But I do remember it in some small ways, so...
Maybe
Here you go.
it was used as a line of defense if one of your patients got rowdy?
Well,
I command you to stand back with that knife and get away from me.
I mean, I
etc.
suppose I have some of these abilities in myself, and exactly for that reason, Hayden, it was useful to be able to defend myself. I mean, some of my patients were the likes of Vespin Chloras, so... Not that, to be honest, I think I could have really held my own against him if he, got rowdy, but... Yeah, maybe. Maybe. Do you mind if and he kind of indicates over to Roman, kind of in a sort of open hand, may I hold it sort of way?
All yours.
He kind of holds it and squints his eyes and is anything coming back?
No.
Yeah, no, just a stick. I don't know. But it's not a good look, is it?
Well, if anything, it was left in your attic, and that's where usually people put things that they don't want or don't use. So maybe that's in your favor?
At the very least, it'll be a useful tool to navigate the world with and any dangers we might encounter.
Or something to sell or barter with.
Right. Or hit people with if they get annoying.
At the end of the day, it still is a stick.
Still as a stick.
Can it be used on animals?
Stick's a stick.
Why would you hit an animal with the stick?
No, not
Right.
hit,
What's wrong with
hit
you,
an animal.
Hayden?
No, I'm saying you can
Why on
control
earth?
animals, like a sheep herder.
Separate spells, the same kind of spells that are crafted to dominate the mind of a person would not work on an animal. The same way that you could not use animal mind control spells on
Wait, did you say dominate monster? Doesn't that do like dogs and things?
I don't think so. I think that would do something different. Dogs largely aren't considered monsters, so...
Right.
I
No.
can confirm that it doesn't. I tried.
Right, well, that's that.
I have to say, That doesn't surprise me.
However, you can use sticks to defend yourself from creatures. If a dog gets too close and tries to bite you, don't hesitate to give it a good prod.
Right. Well, I have a rapier for that as well, and
Let's
crackling
not
lightning magic.
do that to dogs.
Let's not.
Look, you've
kick
got to
dogs.
defend yourself. I don't know what you're talking about.
Unless there's zombie dogs literally about to bite your face off.
Could you see anything else in here that you may wish to take a look at?
No. I think everything we find is sort of stressing me out a little bit, and maybe I don't want to know. Maybe I should just kill Vespin. Maybe we should just slit his throat. We should just go downstairs and kill him, to be honest, because maybe it's just for the best. I mean, I don't mean that he can't defend himself as a helpless man, but
So the option to slit his throat will always be there.
Right.
And however, if you can put up with it in the meantime, we can take him to Risona and put him in the care of people who will not allow him to do anything bad, and you can walk away from it and not have to think about it again.
Right, I mean, I need to know, but maybe...
Well, there's also memory spells. If you learn something you really don't want to know, you could change that and forget it again.
True, yeah, we could just make me believe that I was born here. I was like a sheep herder or something, and I have a cute wife named, I don't know, Elsie or something, inane. And this is a sheep herding stick.
Exactly.
I'm not sure that will pass for a sheep herding stick in agriculture, really.
You could sell it and with the money buy a real sheep herding stick.
You could do that, yes.
And probably a mansion.
Yeah, well, let's go back downstairs, finish the box. I'll try not to think too hard about my erstwhile partner in research, Vespin Chloras.
/ crime.
And no crime. We didn't do crime. It's in the notes. There was
love.
no crime. No, there was absolutely not that either. That is libel. You can't be saying that.
Until we find out what the ritual of seeding really did.
He is pasty and not... He killed me. He's a traitor.
What's wrong with being pasty?
He's like a lich.
Hayden looks down at his own pale skin. He starts climbing down the ladder to get out of the attic.
To be honest, I'm a corpse, so maybe I shouldn't be so judgmental. Food for thought. Shit. Right. I hate this day.
You're going through something, Bonds, don't worry. You'll come out the other end a better man, I'm sure.
I'm trying really hard to stay positive, but it's really, I have a lot of processes to go through to okay myself with this, and I'm really struggling with that at this sort of pace.
Roman just is nodding in the sense of someone who just absolutely just does understand. There, it'll be okay.
Kind of adopting a slightly middle to long distance stare and just occasionally staring at random bits of broken furnishing as they walk past and just shaking his head occasionally as he walks through the house back to the basement. Yeah. Is how are the boys when we get back? How's Aku and Zug?
Zug is, I'm going to be honest, Zug is snoozing next to the half-open fridge, little belly puckered out,
Of course he is!
There are now 3 out of the 7 available gem slots filled with life that still have light inside them. And Lanharath is sitting kind of watching Vespin, and Vespin has kind of, actually after all the things he's been through, is also sleeping as well, and Lanharath kind of sitting cross-legged, almost half meditative pose over both of them, and looks up as you walk in anything interesting on your side?
Lanharath, what are you doing?
Well, I didn't realize it was possible for a single orc to eat 5 turkeys, but
I might need that. You can't be letting him just eat all my food.
Have you tried telling him no?
No.
I thought...
But I guess we found a use for the stick, guys.
Doug, did you even... Did you even
Oh, what?
Take-
Oh, you're back. Is there
Zug,
any
did you
food
even
left?
take a look at any of the spell scrolls that I gave you? Have you even glanced at them?
What scrolls?
Probably ate them.
Oh no. I think I tried. He kind of like snaps his fingers a little bit but between mouthfuls. There are like a couple of sparks fly off, almost conjuring a tiny bit of light.
Good progress.
It's working. I promise. But this fridge, it's really good. If you've had some, would you like some? It's very easy to use. And he goes to like open the
No.
door again.
Absolutely not. I will hit you with a stick or do worse besides with it.
Oh.
We need that. We need that. Right. Okay. Box. You're doing the box, yes?
Yeah.
I'm going to sit over here and process and try not to cry.
Okay.
Well,
Perhaps take a nap?
No, I can't. I'm dead. I can't sleep. I don't sleep.
could you try to distract yourself by helping us with this?
Right. Yeah. Well. Yeah.
All right. Should we take a look at the box?
The box. The final sigil, the final mechanism.
Aiden's gonna kind of lift it up to his face and kind of peer into the inner workings of it, and he's gonna kind of think about it as if it was a lock, and he would maybe need to use his lockpicking tools to kind of move the various kind of pieces and hold them in certain places, as if that's gonna help unlock it. And kind of using that approach, he is gonna try to formulate a theory in his mind of how to unlock it. And then he'll turn to Roman and Barnes and kind of explain what he's gonna try. And he's gonna say, what do you guys think? Do you think that might work?
Give it a go.
Yeah, I mean, your guess is probably as good as mine. I mean, to be honest, based on, the thing we did with the other thing, it felt a bit familiar, but maybe, and he'll, I guess, kind of poke around and maybe point to a thing, and I don't know, does that ring any bells or inspire you somehow?
Yeah, I think so. I'll try it.
Have an inspiration dice. I don't know.
Thank you.
Go for it. Yeah.
What kind of role is this, Jamie?
Arcane.
Arcane. Oh, I thought it was investigation.
That's why I've been doing it, my dog, remember?
Why have I done this? Okay, 26.
Okay,
Plus
come through.
6. 32.
Okay.
Go!
Let's go.
Hayden, look, thinking about it as a lock, the little compartment opens and you begin kind of tinkering around with your tools, and you kind of ting, like a little electric charge almost comes through you, and you kind of recoil ever so slightly, and then you put it back and you put your tool back on that point, and there's kind of a vibration humming, and you realize that it kind of strikes you as inspiration. If you could match that humming and that vibration, that energy flowing through, to go back rather than it kind of being reversed, maybe that does something. And you realize you need to put energy into this in some form to unlock it. You would need to cast a spell of some level to open this, or cumulative spells to that level, using the energy to finally unlock it.
Okay. Can I try doing this right now?
Yep. It would take both of your 3rd level spell slots and 2 of your 2nd level.
I'll do it.
Okay. So 9th is what it needs, so that's 10 in total.
Sorry, did you say 1 or 2 of my 2nd level?
2 of your 2nd level and both of your 3rd.
Okay.
As you kind of focus your energy, you're like, it's not necessarily casting a spell, it's using that energy you would normally summon across to cast this, to kind of align your body and your energy with whatever is coming out of it. There's a fluctuation, and the energy kind of ceases, and there's all of you see, there's like a little blue electricity going along Hayden's arm and this box, and as Vespin's eyes kind of snap open, and like Barnes, you're looking at this as well. There's something familiar about it for a second as it goes. Hayden, you push down, and suddenly the box just kind of falls apart in your hand as each of the sides kind of clatters on the floor one by one. Given how complicated this was to open, the fact that now it's kind of dropping on the floor is just 9 separate sides. You're almost a bit frustrated, and you hope that if you were to put this back together, that intricacy would be restored, like some kind of magical connection between these. But leaving a part alone in your hand, and Roman, obviously, given how difficult this has been for you, you're probably quite impressed with how the fact that Hayden at this last moment has been able to solve this. Hayden, holding in your hand, you have a solid gold ring with 3 diamonds set into one side of it, of which one of the 3 diamonds is faintly glowing. Alongside that, you have a glass ball of swirling black clouds that just seems to be perpetually twisting and swirling round.
Holy shit, we opened it.
Get fucked, Essek Thelyss, whoever you are.
What to expect would be in this thing?
Something that Essek Thelyss was willing to kill for.
Wow.
Roman, do you know what these are?
Immediately, do I have any sense of what they are?
Barnes,
Hey,
do
what
they
are
look
they?
familiar?
But they are streaming off magic. One is I'll say your dispel your detect magic. The orb is giving off incredibly strong divination magic. The ring is harder to tell. Let me just get it up. It's kind of a couple of them. The diamond is the magical part, and it's pulsing, and it's conjuration magic.
Give me 10 minutes and we can find out.
Yeah, sure.
Wow. It's my class.
Identify.
Okay, after 20 minutes, and we will take a short break after so you can discuss it. The orb allows a non-cleric and non-paladin to contact or use the spell Commune once a day. The ring.
Talk to a god, Commune, or I guess we can.
Yeah, so
it's
it's a god or a proxy to a god. So you're unsure which god would be contacted, but essentially you could use the spell Commune once a day for free. Any more than that, the similar penalties to Commune. The ring is the Ring of 3 Wishes, which has 1 left.
Yo.
I can't believe you've done this.
I know. I talked about it. So, you guys, you could infer from that you have 1 out of 3 of the charges. So, Wish, as you remember, can be used to duplicate any spell of 8th level or lower, or can be used to wish for a set level of things, or if you wish to go outside those bounds, it can, presuming it is possible, and up to DM's interpretation of the event. Previously, when I have run Wish, there was quite a decent chunk of metagaming. The more metagaming you do, the more likely the spell is to just fail, or that I will be harsher in my interpretation of the result. For an example of an interpretation, the classic example is if you wished for the big bad evil guy to be dead, you would be teleported forward in time to a point at which they are dead, rather than them just dying. As an example of what can go wrong. So I will give you time to discuss what you wish to do with both of those items. Perhaps, but anyway, in the meantime, I'm aware we've gone for a little while. If we have a break, and if people are okay going to 11 today,
Yeah.
I know Luke's only got till 10:30, right? Or is it
It should be fine. We'll
11,
see
right.
if I get kicked out. Let me know if the security guy appears behind me.
All right, cool. We'll go to 11 today. So we'll take a short break now. We'll be back at 20 to 10. But if you guys want to think about what you want to do with that, and I think, 2 years into a campaign, you guys get access to a wish spell. That's fine.
Ah,
Jesus.
dang. Okay.
This wasn't what was in last time we opened it, Jamie.
No, because I changed it.
No.
Oh, you.
Oh, you.
This stuff is hype though. Okay, I'll see you guys in 10 minutes.
Oh, man.
Bye.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. The group have dug through most of the vestiges of Barnes's house, uncovering relics of the past, magical items, an interesting array of accoutrements and oddities, potions, magical items. And they have finally, after much prodding, poking, attempt, bardic inspirations, found the got the puzzle box open that Hayden has been carrying all the time to reveal a swirling black orb that allows you to cast Commune once a day with an unknown entity, and the Ring of Three Wishes, which has one charge remaining.
I do have one request before we move on. Hayden, I can explain these items to you later if you would like to just keep them safe for now. Before we put it back together, however, there is something very important that I must do. And he rummages through his bag and pulls out like a bit of like scroll, spell parchment scroll and a quill and stuff like that. You see him just like scribbling on it, like writing in Undercommon. So if you can read Undercommon, then you know what he's writing, but scribbling away, kind of folds it up. This will replace what we have taken out of the box. So in the unlikely event that Essek's tiny, puny little mind can compute the functions of the box and open it, well, it's just a charming little surprise for him left inside.
That note says, fuck you, I win, doesn't it?
Can you read Undercommon?
No.
It doesn't matter.
It totally says that. It definitely says it. What else would it say? I respect that. Good job.
Roman will start gathering the pieces and seeing if he can help put it back together.
Yeah, is it like in fragments or is it like dust?
It's like it's 9 separate kind of metal panels that would need to get put back together in some way.
Right, so it's just kind of deconfigured itself rather than broken.
Yeah.
Roman, wait, but if Essek can open it, when I deliver it and I open it and he opens it and...
No. He sent it away specifically to get it taken a look at because he was unable to open it itself. It'll be hundreds of years before he can figure it out. Don't worry.
Right, and if he knowingly can't do it, then he certainly won't try to do it in front of us to make himself look like an idiot.
Absolutely.
Archmages are proud to a fault.
But what if he doesn't lift the spell until he's opened it?
No, they won't do that.
No, he will lift the spell upon delivery of it. He knows that you have the object, what is inside. He would never think that it would have been able to be opened if the people he sent it to hadn't been able to.
Right.
But Archmages think that everyone and anyone is beneath them and are just sort of insects to be crushed underfoot, so...
Especially Essek Thelyss.
Is that sort of Archmage?
The worst.
Oh, sound familiar? He calls over to Vespin, who I don't know if he's still napping. Yeah, I bet it sounds familiar.
Vespin's eyes kind of opened and shut. He kind of shivers a little bit and looks up at Barnes, and you might hear him mutter, "I did it."
He can't mutter because we've gagged him, remember?
Unless
Fair
he's
enough, he does not mutter.
telepathy.
Super gagged.
He whimpers.
Whimpers.
Oh. Yeah, Barnes takes one look down at Vespin and just whatever bravado he was putting on, he just sort of slumps and goes, "Oh my god, I can't do this." What? Yes, Hayden, hello.
With the information you've just learned from around the house, maybe you could try getting some new info out of him. Maybe you could find out what that ritual was.
Seeding, you can say it.
Hayden doesn't tend to say naughty words.
Oh, shut up.
Right.
Wait, sorry, I don't quite follow. What?
Wait, which bit don't you follow?
Which word?
The seeding.
Feeding?
We've done this today already, Ascor. Leave my accent alone, please.
Ascor just sort of shrugged it off.
Okay. Well, the state that Vespin Chloras is in,
Hmm.
he is somebody that, regardless of his intentions surrounding the Divine Gate calamity, you know what's with the betrayer gods, whether or not he did that intentionally, he went mad, he was controlled, whatever it was, the state he's in now is completely not reflective of any of that person, because to be perfectly frank, he's an archetypal trauma patient, and when you put it in the context of him having been tortured by the wand of Orcus for 1,000 years, I realized pretty quickly earlier that it's going to take a while to be able to get him into a state where he can even string a sentence together that anyone can trust. I mean, he whimpered earlier, he said some things which were a little bit concerning. He said something about my eyes and all of that, and I really can't put two and two together, but I think it'll take a while before I can. And I do need to, I do. I'm afraid of what I'm going to find out. I am, because I can't imagine myself now, or ever particularly, having any kind of joy or pleasure in committing acts of evil. It just doesn't seem like something I feel like doing. I see people in need, even if that person is Vespin Chloras, and I want to sort of fix their broken minds. That's who I am. I want to do it. I enjoy it. It's like a puzzle. And I genuinely want to help them. And I guess I can trust in that and myself, but I'm going roundabout. I'm speaking about my feelings. Sorry, I do that. Feelings are healthy to talk about. You should all try it. But
Hayden looks very uncomfortable about talking about feelings.
I know, you're all men. It's difficult. But we can do it together. Anyway, point notwithstanding, Vespin, he does need time. And I'm nervous and I'm worried. And I do sort of think it'll be easier if I just, got rid of the problem here and now, but I can't do that. It's not right. No matter who he is, you swear an oath when you enter a medical profession, be it physical or mental, to do no harm and to help where you can, right? I can help there. I need to put him away. I need to find out, but that won't be for a little while, so. Yeah, let's get him somewhere safe, and I'll try and make do with what I know. That was heavy. Wow. Gosh, I try not to get too serious on you guys. I'm going to not do that. Let's,
Oh, that's okay. I didn't understand any of it.
let's try that wine. Roman, is it wine, the thing in the bottle?
Which bottle are we speaking of?
The thing we found earlier, the one with the potions.
Oh,
Yep.
well,
It,
these
so-
are... Oh, sorry.
the potions obviously were potions, but the wine to you wasn't magical.
Just nothing magical about it.
Oh.
So,
Do we just have it? I don't know. Do you want?
would you drink 1,000-year-old wine?
Maybe.
Ascor, could you make a just a wisdom check?
A wine check.
Check. A check do
Yep.
is. Okay. Wisdom, eh? All right. The result being a 12.
Ascor, it's not. You can't help but feel that people are suggesting drinking an 1,000+ year old bottle of wine that somehow is still drinkable, and just the idea of, you don't know what it would be worth, but the idea that it could be worth more than drinking it in a dark cavern might cross your mind.
Friends, stop. I mean it, stop.
Why?
Stop what?
Well,
We're just standing here.
we'd have to open the bottle to really tell, and besides, I'm probably the only one that could even come close. I'm no millionaire. But think of the gold pieces we picked up. Now think of the bottle. Now imagine the bottle is worth more than many times more those gold pieces.
We understand the
Sorry.
concept of money, Ascor. You can be straight with us.
What I'm trying to say, and presumably Roman, you would know this too, a vintage as old and as potentially as fine as this, well, there are people who go around old ruins in search of old vintage, specifically. Yes, they may find artifacts. Yes, they may find all sorts of things. But some of them hunt just for wine in abandoned cellars because they know the gold they can get for those bottles. It's really something else.
So you want to keep the wine and sell it?
I want to drink the wine, but I'm smarter than that. I think we should keep the wine and certainly sell it, or maybe trade it for something.
All right, well, you're in charge of selling the old wine.
Either that, or it's poison anyway.
True. All right,
Just
well.
make sure you get your coin first.
Yeah.
Yes, I don't intend to be around to find out if it's poison.
Oh. No. Brands.
But wine. Zug, and do we still have the decanter of endless liquid?
Oh, yes.
Alchemy jug, eh?
I've been putting some of the mayonnaise on this turkey, actually.
Well, would you be a good fellow and wipe some of the mayonnaise off the rim? And would you keep glasses, cups, goblets, anything, Barnes?
I mean, sure, probably. Where? Oh, somewhere, yeah. Why don't we just drink it from the bottle?
Do you really remember so little about your own home?
Barely anything.
But you remembered how the microwave works, right? The microwave, the food dispensing
The fridge.
arcanum.
I just opened it. Well, you know, yeah. Hey, I'm not married to the idea of wine. I just, you know, well, we should celebrate a little bit. We're all still alive. You opened your box, and that's good.
And
I don't know. I'm stalling. I'm really stalling.
Here's the thing, Barnes. If you do leave here to search for more answers, you know how to get back here.
I do, yes.
You can
Very much
always
so.
return.
Absolutely.
And if we are able to make a way manually out of this place, in the sense of climb out, and we're able to do that, then you should always have a route back to the city as well, if you do not find another teleportation circle wherever you may end up as well.
My first priority is to learn the teleportation circles used currently, because I can't be going to old ruins every time. I should hate to think what would happen if I tried A or Zemniaz or one of the others, you know. So,
well,
let's put your box back together. Let's go stick it to your shitty Archmage and put Vespin in maximum security prison.
No, first things first, and Asko starts going around, and I'm guessing there's sort of things that resemble cupboards in the room.
In the basement? Not really. There would be higher levels, yeah.
Right, okay. Well, I have, and he reaches into his bag and I guess pulls out from a sort of ration mess kit one sort of kind of tinny cup. Well, has anybody got something else we can drink from?
Wait, I thought you said we weren't breaking into the vintage. What are we drinking?
No, absolutely not. In fact, put that thing in the bag of holding right now.
Yeah, sure. He puts it away.
Perfect. Zug, again, the mayonnaise, please. We're about to drink wine.
Sorry. Maybe you should have this. He gives you over the jug.
And Asko goes, I've not had a drink in a while. And he pulls up the jug and goes to pour it, closes his eyes to pour a delightful drink, and out comes a white liquid. And opens his eyes once more. Oh. Yeah. And then he just really puts it away. He just guzzles it. Milk moustache, just top of his lip.
Did you break the alchemy jug, Zug?
No. That's not mayonnaise.
Have you tried to get anything out of it other than mayonnaise?
Yes, water.
It does
And
beer and oil and vinegar and I didn't know it did milk.
Does it not do milk?
It does
now.
now.
It does.
It
Now
does now.
it does.
The answer is it does now.
Enchanted.
Champagne.
Yeah, +2 this one.
Wow,
That's it.
I'm a little bit baffled. Has wine changed substantially in the past millennia, or
I was just checking if it worked, and he just produces water, rinses it out, and
back in my
Okay, all
time
right.
we called this milk? Is that still true?
yes, it was just a slight a slight issue with using the item. Look, it was just my error. I had to wet my palate. It's just been so long. I
Insight
used to drink
check.
this stuff all the time.
As a therapist, does this concern me?
Go for it, yeah.
Unhealthy
Everything about
fixation.
Ascor should concern you.
Oh my god.
That's a natural one.
You know what? People are weird. Milk's there. Cool.
You're such a funny guy, Ascor. Jeez.
Therapy check.
With that said, do we want to begin making our way out of this place? I know that in this city there are people who do lots of excavations into the ruins of Ghor Dranas, of course, treasure hunting, relic searching, historical reasons and such. So there's a high chance we could come across one of those ready-made tunnels straight back if we take a check.
Sure.
How long do you think it could take us?
I mean, we could be directly underneath the city and it could take us a matter of hours, or we could be far outside the city. It's impossible to say until we start trying to get out of here.
Okay. Well, no time like the present.
Yeah, let's go.
Ascor. I just
Hmm.
purely from edification, are you avoiding teleporting out, or is it something not Ascor would be aware of?
I was actually just looking at the spell just then, and I think where we would have was the sentiment we sort of got from him last time was that he felt it was something he could do. He was apprehensive to try it because he doesn't necessarily know where he needs to go. So yeah, so
You've been to
people would
Arizona,
probably
right?
remember that.
Ascor can Ascor can do detect thoughts, right?
Yep.
Would it work if he detected Roman's thoughts and Roman had a clear image of where they were supposed to be going?
Yeah, I think so.
And Ascor could use that image in his casting?
Yeah, I think so. You want to give it a go?
Where do we go, guys? Do you mind quickly if I just... And he kind of looks over at Vespin, just quickly.
I'll give him a slap.
No, no, one second. He's gonna walk over to him, crouch down, and cast Calm Emotions.
Yeah.
Which is a charisma saving throw. It can choose to fail it if it wants. And maybe Bonds will say, Vespin, I know there's a lot going on right now, and I don't really know if you're going to particularly understand what I'm saying, but look, I can make some of that go away temporarily if you want to feel safe for just a few minutes.
Can you just make a charisma check for me? The strength of your personality attempting to calm the fragments of Vespin's mind.
Great charisma. Okay, that's pretty good. 21.
21. Okay. Okay. Vespin's eyes, like the franticness, the dilution ceases ever so slightly. The handling comes over, and he's obviously bound up to the slide. You can see him wince, but he just kind of lies there for a second. The most obviously calm since you've seen him, but there's something ever so slightly for a brief seconds of interlude different behind those eyes. There is a lucidity of which you isn't present otherwise.
Okay. Can I quickly drop the gag?
Yeah.
His hands are still bound, right?
Yeah, he's
and
just
I would
breathing
think that-
heavily,
yeah.
looking at you.
Okay, Vespin. Look, I need you to understand something. I don't know how we know each other really beyond the fact that we're therapist and patient and maybe research some shit together. But I swear on my oath to do good, try and fix people, I'm going to try and help you. I need you to try and help yourself in return. Please don't go against whatever happens in the next few hours. I will do my best. For us both.
What year is it?
I tell him the year.
I did it. I saved you.
Wait, what? You killed me. Is that what you wanted?
No. Yes. No. No.
But is that what you mean by saved?
Not.
I don't understand what you mean, and I think it'll take a while. And this effect won't last long, so I don't think I have time to ask you, but... Vespin, No, I can't ask you that. Look, just cooperate. You'll cooperate, right? And whatever's wrong, you'll try fight it off and try and... We'll work on this, yes? Together?
I hit all of them. I hit all 9. They're back. They're coming. Please.
I know,
Please.
you're... Oh, I'll do my best. Okay. He's gonna replace the gag, turn around to the group, and they probably would have been able to hear it, right?
Yep.
Just give them this sort of, well, yeah. Just wanted to try that. So, there you go. Good. Great.
Great.
Great. Let's go to your city.
Shall we try it?
We can absolutely try it. In fact, do you have anything? So this location, is it the one in your home, is it we're going for?
Yeah, Roman would think it would be safest to turn back up in the house.
Do we have anything from there? If we have an object that I can touch and I can just feel, then...
Did
I'm
Hayden
certain.
give Roman back the books that he stole from Roman's library, from his study?
Oh,
think
like
so,
the
actually, yeah.
dream journal and
Mhm.
yeah, he gave him all that stuff back ages ago.
Something physical.
Yeah, an object.
It reaches in his bag of holding and pulls out the dream journal, which you guys will recognize. Perhaps you remembered taking this?
Absolutely. I think it was quite masterful, actually. Sorry, of course. I do apologize.
All is forgiven.
Let me, and as soon as Aspor touches it, he goes, aha, his eyes sort of light up. And you can tell he's almost as if he's seeing somewhere that's not in front of him. That's right. It could use a bit of a tidy and hasn't been dusted in a while, but I can see the room.
Been a while since I've been back, so...
DM, do you think all of us could fit in that room?
Please squeeze.
I can do it. It's just going to be very tight. Barnes, can you keep him still? And he points down to Vespin.
Yeah, of course.
Well, then I think we can get there.
Let's do it.
Is everybody okay with that?
Let's go.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Gather around. And he sort of beckons you all into sort of circle around him. I would normally say this, but you're going to have to get closer. This is a very small room. And it probably gets a bit awkward. You're actually like you know, you're in the tube, and like someone's face is here, a stranger, and your face is there, and it's just sort of like instinct to just move away. Like, no, we're too close. Like everyone's that close, you know what I mean? And like eyes are crossing, and like you can smell someone else's breath and shit. It's not good.
Starting to wish you'd taken that bath, Zug.
No, Wait, I haven't taken the bath? Oh, no, I didn't. Can we do that before I go?
He's holding the fridge, yeah? He better be holding the fridge.
Yes, of course. I would never let go of this fridge.
This
This is my fridge. You gave it to me. I'm very grateful, but it's mine now.
No, I'm going to need that fridge in a second, or a few hours. We'll see.
You guys.
But I can have it back, right?
Yes, sure.
It's the best.
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure we can hold on. And Ascot touches it, and you see sort of hairs on the back of his hand stand up. Yes, the fridge can come. But
Right.
again, space.
What would be
you'll
the
have
point
to
of anything
stand
if the
on
fridge
top of
couldn't
it.
come?
Could we put the fridge inside a bag of holding, maybe, to...
No, it's mine. I'm holding it.
Well, we can give it back to you afterwards, just to make
No.
space.
Okay.
okay.
How about we just
Oh boy.
get on with this, shall we?
All right, gather around. And
Anyone who cares to notice might spot that while Hayden normally has got no qualms about being very close to Aku, at the moment, while he's sandwiched in next to Aku, he does actually look a little bit uncomfortable.
Oh.
And similarly uncomfortable, Bond's holding up Vespin is very like,
Weston's kind of gone back, and you see he is shaking while you're holding him.
Just give him a hug. Sorry, I didn't say that.
Oh, yeah, and also Roman, who is now over 200 centimeters tall, is probably like leaning down a little bit.
Hello, children.
We're such a weird
Because now
hype
there's no
party.
Ratcha, it's like...
oh my god, it's actually Grandpa and the kids.
Oh my god. It's that one thing of that guy like holding the leashes and he's like and the kids are like running in 3 different directions. That's Roman with us. Okay. Let's teleport. Let's
All
get
right.
out of this place.
And Ascot takes the book and he holds it to his chest. It says, now make sure you all stay very still. And he closes his eyes and everything's, just completely still for a minute. You hear him breathing and it's actually probably getting a bit awkwardly long. Nothing's happening. He's just still there with his eyes closed, holding the book. It's just like, as if he's trying to find something in his mind, in his memory. Still searching.
Well,
Do you require assistance?
Well, this is the first time. I want to get this right.
You can do it.
performance
I've seen
anxiety
you...
is perfectly normal, Ascot. It happens to everybody. And you don't need to worry about the pressure being put upon you by others. You need to find it in yourself. And it kind of goes on for a few minutes about performance and nerves. Does that help?
Not really.
Right, good. Can you hurry up?
I've seen you summon a lightning bolt and send it straight through the middle of a creature, rendering it in 2 separate pieces. This should be a slice of cake for you.
Well,
He's
it's
got a
not
point.
happening, okay? I'm trying. I'm focusing. Normally, if I just focus or let my mind relax, one or the other, it seems to work just fine. But it's not happening.
What is the blocker?
I don't know.
Drink some milk or something.
I thought of milk. It's the first thing I thought of.
Now, there's a problem here. I thought it was normal, but the more you say it, I think it's not. We'll talk about
Maybe
this later. Just
think about the milk that you drank at Roman's house. Maybe that'll like motivate you to get there.
It was goat's milk. That
Oh.
doesn't help.
Oh,
think
yeah.
beyond the milk. Think about wine. Think about things outside of this blocker that you have.
What about bat's milk? Would you like some bat's milk?
No, don't
That's
think
not-
about milk.
The thread count of the bed that you stayed in at Roman's house.
Right. Think of all the money waiting for you in Rosanna and all the, I don't know, names you're going to get or something.
Think about how much you're worth as well. Think about all the money.
This isn't working. Everything I do, it's strange. It's affiliated with a different emotion. This one, I can't work it out.
What emotions are they normally?
Well, sometimes just determination's enough to get it done. Sometimes a pleasant thought, or, even for that fireball for a while, I have to think of something particularly boring.
Well, what's an emotion to you that seems foreign, that you can't reach by yourself?
I don't think about that sort of stuff.
What to you sounds weak and stupid?
He looks to Vespa and Chloras for a moment.
Oh, point taken, he sort of is, isn't he?
Do you think fear could motivate you?
We could try.
What about the charity to help your friends? Does that sound sort of stupid to me? That sounds like something you wouldn't be on board with normally.
I
Charity?
just thought of that now you said it, and I feel further away than ever before.
Right.
So fear, then.
We can try.
Okay. Roman goes to the stairs and walks out of the basement
No.
and looks out of the window to where the bats were.
Yep.
And will fire 3 Eldritch Blasts into the cavern
Oh,
and
God.
smash the wall down and shout. Dinner's here, you blind bloody bastards! And
Oh.
And then you hear Ascor sort of shouting, like very just sort of clipped, like, "What the hell are you doing? I'm not looking to die!"
he runs down to the bat. Are the bats like moving now?
He really is his brother's
like
brother.
each of like the large shadow bat bird things, like 3 of them just start like converging on your position immediately.
He runs up and says, "We've got to go. The bats are coming."
You see on Ascor's face, you see the terror, like, and the pressure. He's just like getting sweaty. In fact, his hair starts changing colors and his robes turn inside out and then they turn back in again. And he's just like, this isn't it. This isn't it.
It has to be it, Asco. It has to be.
It's
They're
not-
coming.
It's not this one.
Davey, can I do some kind of insight? I don't know. Like...
Ascor, could you roll a D100?
Sure.
Oh.
Okay.
Wait, are you plane shifting?
No, it's teleport. You roll a D100, but if you have something familiar from the location, you basically have 100% success chance, I think.
Okay.
Maybe.
Yeah, unless the DM, of course, has other ideas. I can roll it, but Askel hasn't. If roleplay wise, he hasn't reached.
Oh,
the
if you haven't
emotion.
cast it yet, that's fine. That's
Yeah.
fine. Go for
It's
it.
not happened,
That's cool. That's cool.
and he's sort of panicking, and he's just sort of, he grabs Roman and just, what the fuck are you doing?
So it's not
Motivational
fear.
speech.
It's not fear. It's not charity. It's not.
Maybe it's hungry. Are you hungry?
No, it's not that.
Yo,
I tried the milk.
help us out. I'm dumb. Is there something we can roll to figure this one out?
Yeah.
The answer is love. The answer is love.
What is? Someone held a mirror up to his face.
Ask for. Think of the feeling of somebody you care about very much looking down at you and saying you've done a great job. I am so proud of you. Or think about hearing that from someone you admire, somebody you adore, somebody who you look up to. It's you. Your efforts have brought that about. It was all in you. You are in
not
full
working. It's not
control.
working.
You have full control of your power.
I can hear them.
Asgore.
I can hear them coming. Oh my god.
Hayden grabs his mirror out of his bag of holding and holds it up to be in front of
Look at
Asco's
yourself!
face. Tell yourself you can do it.
It's not the one. That's not it. I've tried these.
God, we're all gonna die.
We're all going to die, Askel.
It was your fucking fault.
Envy. Is it?
But fear didn't work. Love hasn't worked. Your inspiration hasn't worked.
Pride.
Pride hasn't worked. Maybe not. We've tried bumping up his ego.
Asgore, isn't it annoying that Roman is better at magic than you? That he just knows it, that he learned it, that he studied and he has control, and that he's just superior to you in every way? Wouldn't it just be great if he would just prove that you were better than him just this once?
Astor whips around and looks at you, and you see his eyes like ablaze, and he goes, raises a hand and goes, yeah, teleport.
Yes, we did it!
D100, is it DM?
Yep.
Oh my god, Ascar is so good. I love
Let's try it.
your character.
As you disappear, you black kind of shadow encompasses as black mist flows in, and just as you all blink out of existence, a large, like, shadowy beak curls in.
Whew, close call.
Nice. I rolled a perfect 50, DM.
That's fine. So you're going to, as you kind of suddenly, everything is calm. It is brighter in the way that Rosanna's artificial light is larger. You can like look around, and it's Roman's study, those of which some of you lied about long ago being here for whatever reason. The various books piled on the side. Roman, it is strange. You haven't been here. Even when you visited before, you didn't come here, but it is kept almost perfectly to what you remember 10 years ago. Apart from a couple of choice books missing that kind of twinge at the back, you remember about the party. Looking out the various windows, you see the twinkling green lights of kind of the lamps of Rosona that keep the streets lit. The green purple colors of the various architecture of the Kryn dynasty. As looking around, you can only assume that you are in Roman's study in the center of House Everthel, in the city of Rashona, after many months. Well, for Roman, sorry, it'd be weeks, but the rest of you, it feels like you have been months since you have been somewhere where you are unequivocally perhaps safe. There is silence outside the door, though. Your arrival does not seem to have prompted anything.
There's a window into the city.
A window to the city outside, yeah.
Yeah. Barnes is gonna like run over to it and drag Vespin and be like, "Oh shit, Vespin, look, it's so cute. Look at it, wow, it's so small, ha!" And just take
he's
in
still
the
gagged,
sights.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And kind of like, again, like looks wide-eyed out of the window, like not quite recognizing what he's seeing.
Welcome to the new Ghor Dranas, or Rosanna, as they call it, I guess. Wow. Shit. And he's just gonna stay leaning on the windowsill.
Hayden's
What are you
gonna
guys doing?
fall to the floor and kind of look around the office and kind of touch the ground, and just he looks incredibly relieved to be back somewhere familiar.
Roman put his hand on Hayden's shoulder and kind of like squeeze it. It's over.
Almost. At least I know I'm close to where Essek is, so it's nearly over.
We'll sort it out.
Yeah.
I suppose I should go herald our arrival.
Yeah.
You hear Astor clear his throat. Nothing? That was amazing. I did this.
I was staring out the window.
Very good.
Asgore, thank you so much.
Oh, yeah.
That was... You may have just possibly saved my life. So, I owe you. And I mean that.
I didn't mean what I said, Asgore. I hope you know that. I just thought it might incite the right reaction.
Wait, what did you say? I don't really remember.
Nothing that's worth remembering, to be perfectly honest. Just pretty petty. For the record, I think you're pretty great.
Well, that's good of you to be able to say it.
I have no problem expressing my feelings honestly.
And Ascol looks kind of like, sort of bit like, Okay, Scott. Yeah, talking about the feelings. Like the rest of the men in the room.
He's kind of giving sanctimonious therapist at the moment with that sort of like contented smile and like, yes, good. And he returns his attention to the outside world.
Right.
Well then.
So, making your way through the many corridors of Ghost and Roman's house, Elenia and Roman's house. Are you all traveling in a group still? After a little bit of wandering, you kind of round the corner and you kind of hear off in the distance chatting between a female voice, the Roman you recognize, and kind of a slightly lower voice that might be male, that you also recognize as perhaps belonging to Balforan, the butler, and obviously Mira, Roman's mother. And okay, yes, having disguised to look like a goblin. It's a hobgoblin, sorry. And obviously, as you turn, there's like the sound of your footprints going to go away, and they both turn, and Mira just, "You're back!" and just runs over and like throws her arms around Roman, and gives like the biggest hug, and Belfrin kind of is following up slightly and kind of bows to you all, and particularly to Roman, but the rest of you. Mira goes, What happened? I sent you away from the dinner, and then we were thrown in jail, and then obviously that all fell through because it was ridiculous. It's totally ridiculous, isn't it? You had nothing to do with those people. I'm so glad you're all back, and you look hungry. Are you hungry? Belfrin, food, please. Immediately, she kind of slaps.
No, there is a lot to explain. I'm glad you're okay, Mother, and we've sorted out that mess.
Okay, traitors to the city. What a ridiculous man that Essek is. You know, I never liked him.
No, I always told you, and you.
Madame Everfell, I would like to apologize for this miscommunication. Of course, these allegations are unsubstantiated, and we're sorry for the distress that it's caused you.
I appreciate the words, but who the hell are you?
And Asco just drops it.
Yes, I should have realized from the way you spoke, but there is one of you who is entirely new, and the other one is missing. The one who wanted to throw you Did the party never happen?
Well, unless you've met both of us before, this one, and he indicates to Vespin, who's currently bound, gagged, and
forgot about Vespin. He was like
somebody's cape and kind of naked, and Bonds is just gonna be like, "Well, before I introduce him, he actually just needs some clothes, if you have any."
Nothing good.
Please, give him
whatever you can
wear.
find for this man.
Just some linens, no tread count on it. Just really.
Your most uncomfortable clothes, please, Belle.
Right.
But you remember you're back with 2 new friends and 1 missing, and I know last time you spoke of Elenia being lost to us. There's been no movement on that. I can see.
That will take some more doing, it seems. Allow me to introduce our new companion. This is Barnes. This is my mother.
Lawrence Costello at your service. What pleasure it is to meet the woman who raised this really quite fine archmage. He's been a fantastic leader. Just great. A real pleasure to work with. So, really, you've done a great job with him.
Well, it's nice my son's finally bringing someone home some manners. It's a pleasure to meet you, Mr. Costello. My name is Mila Everfell. Please, while you are here, and you are a friend of Roman's, my house is your house.
That's very kind of you.
And the other one? Who is the one deserving?
Matters not.
His name's Varen.
Varen.
He's got some problems. I'm sort of a healer of the mind, and let's call him my project.
Oh, I can see that there's clearly something wrong.
He needs help. I'm going to.
Does he often shake this much?
Unfortunately, yes. It's to do with his condition. I'll do my best to cure him. Well,
Mother, would it be possible for you to request the presence of Essek Thelyss to come here? I understand
I have
that
explicitly banned him from house
given
grounds.
I understand it is of some importance, and before stepping out.
I believe, given your father is currently and has been much time engaged in a lot of meetings. Of course, I suspect that together I could get a message to him that once those meetings are concluded, that Essek perhaps will come here. Let him know you've returned with friends and information, I suppose. So.
Roman, Ascor leans close in to you, sort of from behind, as if to whisper into your ear. His mouth doesn't move, but you hear him telepathically. You hear, your family's been through a lot. Maybe we should find somewhere else to have these meetings.
He just he'll reply in his head as well. Given everything that has happened with the infiltration of Zahir cultists in some of the highest ranking families in the city, I, at the moment, could not say where I would trust to go without having some more information first.
It's your choice. It's your family.
So in the meantime, food, you must be hungry, linen, clothes, the rest. I'm just glad you're home. Is there anything I can provide?
if you have any books on local history, that would be fantastic.
Roman's room, we've got a library of it itself as well. As I said, I'll have to show us. Feel free.
With that said, actually, Barth, there are a few things you should be aware of before stepping out into the city. This is, how should I put it, not part of a human civilization. In fact, humans are not often here, and when they are here, they are treated with suspicion and derision. Given the delicate political state of the continent. Just so you're aware, it's probably not wise to step outside of the grounds into the streets just yet. At least not without disguising yourself in some way.
I understand. All right, I'll be careful. Thanks. I'll default to invisibility if I have to walk the streets.
So I will let you know if Killer arrives. In the meantime, as I said, I do all wish. What do you all? What can I do?
Can I take a bath?
I wasn't going to say anything, but as quickly as possible, if you don't mind.
Thanks.
If Bethlehem returned with some it's actually not that bad clothing. Like the word seems to be pretty nice. If Bethlehem, if you don't mind taking this one and whoever else wishes to go to the tower, the guest tower, you all remembered it, right? There's a bath on the top floor.
Yeah, I remember. Kind of looks at Asker and he's like, I remember. And then he follows after Belfrin.
I'll stand vigil over Theron, I suppose. Yeah. I'll watch over him, make sure he doesn't do anything stupid. The usual.
Well, Roman, before you friends disappear, it would be lovely to have some time together, but I understand if they're your priority and whatever you found is it for now.
He will put his hand on his mother's arm and just sort of say, kind of lean in closely. But I will not be leaving anytime soon, even though we have things to deal with now. I've done enough traveling for certainly one lifetime right now.
Some parents can't wait for them to leave the nest, and you both lose so soon. It'd be nice to have you back for some time, especially in light of all that's happened.
And you know, we still have Elenia's mess to clean up still, so.
Well, what are younger siblings for? If not to clean up after. I'm sure you have much to tell me, but I suppose that's a conversation for me and your father.
Indeed.
Okay. So presumably, as you guys are all taken off to get dressed, to get changed, is there anything you guys would talk about to each other, or would you wait for Kildare and Essek to return? Anything you guys particularly wanted to say to each other while in this
I guess
place?
while we're like moving up, if Roman gets a moment with Hayden while like all this the hustle and bustle is happening, he'll probably tell him about the items from inside the box and this ring. The power contained in this ring is something that people will kill for. You should share what it is at your discretion, of course, but be careful with it. It contains a lot of power.
What would someone even use this for? I can't imagine.
Whatever your heart desires.
I don't even know where I would start. Take it probably unwishing things is not a good idea.
No, and I can give you I have some information on this for you to look at your leisure, for how to make wise decisions around the shape of this spell. But make no mistake, the power contained in this is incredibly rare and very sought after. And doing it in the wrong way can change the course of your life, but not necessarily in a good way. So
yeah,
just be careful.
But don't you think that something with this amount of power would be better kept by yourself? You're about to try to take down Ghost and fix the Divine Gate, and
we don't need to wish to do that. We can work at it and build up a plan that makes sense. You can't wish all your problems away.
Yeah. And he goes into his bag and shuffles around for a minute, and he pulls out a thin card that is it looks like a little tarot card, and it's the wish card that he pulled from the deck of many things.
Wait, you have a wish? No, even the Fates card.
Fates card, sorry. Yeah. I don't know the difference.
I was like, wait a minute. God.
The Fates card.
Jamie just throwing wish spells at it.
I'm like, but isn't the Fates card basically a wish spell? Like,
No, I suppose fate
the Fates card
undoes something.
undoes something that's happened. It's actually probably a weaker form of the wish spell. Like the wish spell enables you to affect the future and duplicate any spell below 8th level as well.
Okay. So he pulls out the Fates card, and he shows it to Roman, and he says, I met a weird guy in Taldore, maybe like a month or so before we met you, and he, I don't know, we were drinking and gambling, and he was like, hey, do you want to pull from this deck of cards? And I was like, yeah, sure, why not? And anyway, I got this, and I've been meaning something about it feels really special, but I've been meaning to identify it to understand exactly what it does. And something about this situation reminded me of it. If you ever
Literal
come,
power to undo an event in your history.
have you ever come across something like this before?
Would Roman know what like a deck of many things is? Or deck of several things, or whatever it was.
Make an arcana. It was a deck of many things. Make an arcana check.
Okay. 23.
Roman would certainly be aware of legends and stories, and perhaps would have seen drawings of cards that kind of go beyond simply magical items that shape the very fabric of reality, that are beyond dangerous. And the card that Hayden is holding in front of you closely mirrors one of those cards you would have seen drawn somewhere. Yeah. And his description of the deck would have informed you that that would be what it was as well.
Oh, Hayden.
What?
Roman, I guess, would explain what the fate card is and what the power of it is as well.
I mean, the guy said that it was a good card, and I should hold on to it for an important moment, but just kind of forgot about it because I didn't really understand exactly what it did, but...
You could have undone your attunement to the wand with this. But, as you have proven, sometimes you don't need to wish things away.
Right. Why am I being given all these heavy choices? It's a lot. This ring and this card? Someone's looking down at me and laughing, I swear.
As with the wand, you know, it doesn't have to be your responsibility to carry these. You can pass them on, sell them, make some money, make some other choices for yourself. But having them gives you the option, at least, to choose.
Yeah. I guess so. What would you do with them? If it was up to you.
Wish myself somewhere far away. Maybe in a cave on a mountain where no one could find me and I would be left alone forever.
Didn't you have 10 years of being left alone long enough already? Maybe it's time to be around people, you know?
It's gone very well so far.
Well, maybe not people like us. Since we tend to pull you into, what you call it, shenanigans.
It's true. Whatever your next steps are, I will say, it is unlikely that I will go with you and follow you to wherever leads you next. I would like to stay here a while and rebuild and formulate a plan of some sort to resolve the mess I helped start.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been wondering kind of what would happen when we got back here, and I kind of had a hunch.
For what it's worth, there is always a place for you here. If you had wanted to stay or come back, you just need to let me know.
What do you mean? A place for me here?
If you wanted to stay here, study, learn, grow, do something else with your life, not have to return to what you had before.
Roman,
I'm not saying you should. I just want you to know that you don't need to feel like once you leave here, you can't ever come back.
and he kind of like drops his head and kind of looks at the floor for a moment. And you hear him sniffle a bit, and he kind of pulls his sleeve up and like rubs at his eye, and he's like, thank you. Thank you for the offer. I can't really explain how much that means to me. For you to say I could stay here, or come back, but I have unfinished business. I need to put to rest.
I understand.
I'm gonna miss you.
With any luck, you'll forget about me in a short
Unlikely.
amount of time.
I don't think that's possible.
Maybe I'll make it so.
Don't you dare.
I would do it. I would do it.
I'm sure you would.
I am an Archmage after all.
The most powerful of Archmages.
The most powerful Archmage in Persona, so I'm told.
Well, you managed to open the box and Essek didn't, so what does that
Actually, I
say?
think you'll find that it was you who opened the box,
Oh.
and Essek couldn't.
Don't be silly, I wouldn't have been able to get that far without you.
You'll never know.
Well, maybe I'll have to move back here and help you rub it in Essek's stupid face.
Well, if you ever wanted to come back and put some of that talent of yours to good use, I'd be happy to train you myself. And we can both stick it to Essek Thelyss.
It sounds pretty fun.
Anyway, get yourself a bath, you bloody stink.
Yeah, I love you too. And he kind of punches Roman on the shoulder and walks past to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, punches him on the shoulder.
Oh yeah. It's like an uppercut. I'm not that short, although you're freaking tall. Oh. And I go take a bath.
I cry.
I cried too. I've ruined my eyeliner.
Yeah, I guess Bonds is probably sat outside the bathroom with Vesper, who he's gotten redressed and maybe replaced some of the nasty rope with something a little less coarse, and he's just quite quietly sat with him and probably is fairly unresponsive. If anyone just walks past him, he seems quite he's dejectedly staring at the floor and just processing, it would seem. But he's not stinky because he has prestidigitation, so he doesn't need to have a bath. And he's a corpse, so he doesn't sweat anyway.
Ever so slightly looking at the time, we probably have a little bit to clear up next session in Roshona before you guys perhaps teleport away to Imon. Are we okay leaving it here and then we deal with everything else next session? And I can probably, Lauren, we can have a little chat about if Roman's not going, how we can possibly bring in the next character.
Spoilers, Jamie!
Spoilers!
Oh, sorry, Lauren's not just leaving.
Spoilers!
Also, Luke, given where we're going and where perhaps you'll be teleporting us to, you and I should probably have a chat for you next session as well. And now that
The Asco arc begins!
we get to the Asco arc, as well as the
Finally,
Zog
after 2 years!
and so, there we are. We will leave it there as you guys are showering ready for the arrival of the victory lap around the shitty Essek Thelyss and Kildra Everthil returning. You guys scavenged Barnes' home, got some more secrets. You're delivering a broken fragment of the Archmage into custody essentially, before returning to your literal objective since the beginning of the campaign. It has taken you getting to level 7 and getting a one-way ticket of access via teleport. But you will get there. I think it's always
more like
talk about
13.
how the fact you guys probably would have got there about 10, 11 months ago in real time, if you'd have not dropped the Wonder Walkers. But here we are instead. All right, guys.
Crazy, isn't it?
Hayden, if we have someone to raid, that'd be great.
You called me
Otherwise-
Hayden. Before we go, anyone who's watching the stream right now, we are doing an art giveaway. Woo!
Wow.
It has now been posted on Twitter. So I'll see if I can grab the link and post it in the chat. But if you go to our twitter.com/D&D Boyband, you will find this wonderful tweet, which I am about to post in the Twitch chat. And basically, if you follow the D&D Boyband Twitter account and retweet this tweet, and then follow up by commenting with your Twitch username and a description or picture of your D&D character, you could be in with a chance to win 2 pieces of artwork of your D&D character. You have to tune into the stream next Tuesday on February 22nd, where we will be picking and announcing the winner. So don't miss it. Yeah. You'll have some really beautiful artwork drawn by both Clued and myself. So I hope that you guys all take part, and we're looking forward to drawing your characters.
I've also just slammed up the Instagram post.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, I had to edit the border in. So
Oh, yeah, of course. I forgot about the border.
I was trying to do it. Yeah, he exists.
Here is the Instagram link as well.
I haven't put the
so-
text in because I'm trying to find it, but you know, it's coming.
We'll do it. We'll make it happen.
Post is there anyway.
It'll happen. It'll happen. So yeah, looking forward to. Oh god, wrong one. Looking forward to seeing you guys next week. And I don't have a raid prepared, so I'm really sorry. We're just not gonna raid tonight. But yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
Thanks everyone. Take care.
Thank you.
Love y'all. Bye.